Hello.
Hi.
We're live.
Am I live?
Yes, you're live too.
I love it when we're live.
We are live. Let's make sure. Yep, we are streaming. Looks like we're good to go. We are out there.
Awesome. Hi, guys.
How's it going?
Welcome to Popped.
It is Tuesday night, isn't it?
It is. Tuesday nights are my favorite night.
Because we do Popped.
Of course.
Okay, good. Well, we are down one tonight. It is just the two of us and some Maniac Mansion from Fingers out of Richmond.
Awesome.
So-
Thanks, Fingers.
Yes, yes. Man, let me fade this down here. There we
Yeah.
go.
Keith has a new toy.
I do have a new toy, courtesy of Matt's Peer Pressure. It is my fancy little stream deck. I'm still doing some things manually here, but let's see here. Yeah, a little fancy stream deck. Let me get the phone out of the way here. This thing is a work in progress. I can sit here and push buttons, and I can go to just me. Ooh, look at that. There we go.
Oh,
It works so fancy. I can go back
fancy.
to Sarah, or I can go back to all of us. I can play the theme song again, which I won't do. But you know what my favorite thing is? I can do this. I've got drops.
We have drops. It's been a year and a half that we have been begging for sound effects in some way and just didn't have the know-how and didn't have the equipment. And now we do.
We have both.
And we are good to go. And it's very, very exciting.
Yes. I can do all sorts of things. I've got one special one for Matt whenever he talks Disney. I don't think he's watching yet, so I can
No, he's probably dead to the world.
Okay. So I can say that now. I do have a little alarm, so whenever he talks about Disney, it will we have a nice little Disney alarm, but he's got to be here. I'm not going to debut it till we have him here and he starts talking Disney, cuz we know he will. Let's be honest. And yeah, let's see. You want to hear some of the other ones I got? This one I got, just there you go.
No, don't blow all the drops.
No,
We got to
oh
use
my.
them. No, don't. No. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, that one's appropriate because it is October.
It is.
It is finally October. Alexis wants to know why you're not wearing the towel.
Because these are comfier and they matched a little bit better with my Electric Mayhem shirt.
He's actually wearing pants this
I
week.
was
where it
wearing
is
pants
a-
last week too.
Okay. If that,
fine.
yeah.
I was wearing pants last week.
So, Keith, how was your week in pop culture?
It was good. It was busy. I took notes
You-
so I could talk about
Yeah,
this stuff.
I should start doing that. I never take notes,
Any-
and then I can't remember anything that I've done in pop culture.
Anytime I do something in pop culture, I now write it in my little phone. And I've got a nice little list here.
All right, what you got?
I watched a few movies.
Okay, what'd you
Got,
watch?
Everybody Wants Some, the spiritual sequel to Dazed and Confused. You know what? It was damn enjoyable. It was delightful even. I enjoyed it immensely.
Did you guys ever see Everybody Wants Some? I have not. I kind of refused to watch it because
It
of.
was enjoyable.
Well, I really like Dazed and Confused, and I don't.
This was very like it. I can
just-
see why. I know you have a hang up on spiritual sequels.
I mean,
The term. Let me
this
rephrase
is the
that.
first time I've ever heard that term, and I thought
And
it was
rubs- Yeah.
baloney.
Oh, I just thought of a new drop.
No, okay, well, later.
no, it's cap.
Language.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a new
that's
drop.
a
I'll
good
add
one. Yeah.
So, anyways, yes, I watched Everybody Wants Some. It was really enjoyable. I thought it was a lot of fun. I don't know if I'd go buy it or anything, but it was on, what was it on? Amazon Prime. So I was able to watch it.
And our Netflix for 9 months.
Well, yeah, we did have the disc, and it never did anything with it. So yeah, I think now, what do we got Netflix? Oh, we got The Kingsman. So we gotta watch
yeah,
The
we got to
Kingsman.
watch that. Dean will appreciate that.
Yes, so we will watch that at some point, hopefully within 9 months, because the sequel is now out in theaters. But let's see, what else did I watch? Speaking of Netflix, I watched Little Evil, that Adam Scott movie, where his stepson is the Antichrist.
Oh, yeah. I remember watching that trailer on Netflix with you. How was that?
Not as good as the trailer.
Okay.
It was
Adam
enjoyable.
Scott's funny.
It was a movie.
It was a movie that I watched.
Yeah, it was. The premise was good. Execution could have used a little bit of work.
Okay.
But overall, it was enjoyable. A few funny moments, and I do like Adam Scott, and that's part of the reason I watched it. Is I do like Adam Scott, and yeah. So I think those were the movies I watched. I caught up on a bunch of television episodes. Caught up with Turtles.
We watched some DuckTales.
Hold on. See.
Gotta love that little box.
Phrasing.
No, see, he's ready to go, ladies and gentlemen.
Got it all ready to roll.
He's all ready to roll.
So yeah, watched DuckTales, caught up with Turtles, watched the new Will and Grace.
Oh yeah, how was that?
On point. I mean, they got a little political, but it was easy fodder as far as their style of comedy goes. 'Cause
Yeah,
they're
I
very
don't think that
antagonistic.
would have been out. I mean, I don't know. I never watched Will and Grace. Everybody on my Facebook feed was all excited about it.
It's enjoyable.
Yeah.
The show was really good,
Okay.
but then the new episode was even better. The old show was on Hulu. Actually, I rewatched the pilot from
Nice.
10, 15 years ago, long time ago. So
Oh, Alexis says they finished American Vandal. So did we.
they were disappointed.
They were disappointed.
We
Okay.
were not disappointed.
Rex, let us know why you're disappointed. Put it in the comments because
You know what?
I
I'm gonna-
don't know if that's the word I would use.
I don't think it was really about finding out who did it in the first place. It was about the whole going through the process, you know?
Yeah, but okay. So, Alexis loved Will and Grace and is not telling us why she was disappointed with American Vandal. Okay, we have to keep this spoiler free.
Okay.
So, Alexis, no spoilers. Just say you were disappointed with the ending or whatever. I was disappointed with the end.
Why?
When the Vandal was revealed,
It was a little lackluster.
it was not. It not only was it lackluster, but it wasn't fair.
Fair how?
Like by Clue rules. You know what I mean? Like with
There was
Clue.
no library and a wrench.
No, there's no. There was no. You weren't restricted to the confines of.
The school.
Right.
Okay.
So I understand. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's like true crime works like that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It felt like a cop out.
Okay.
So I was not. No, I thought it was funny. I really enjoyed it. It was blah at the end. That was Alexis's
Yeah.
sort of takeaway,
could
and I kind of
A
felt
lot of build up to.
a lot of build up to yeah. But I mean, when I think about that, or think about like Making a Murderer, like what conclusion could I want there? You know, I mean, the answer is always going to be he did it or he didn't.
Right, but even what's it called? Even Making a Murderer, didn't really give us much closure, much, the ending for that was a little lackluster in the sense that, we didn't really, I mean, we learned a lot of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but we still didn't have any like final, okay, this is how things are going,
Right.
Everyone's still in jail and that kind of thing.
No, Dassey got out.
Well, he did after the fact, after that whole documentary aired. But
Right.
as far as the documentary itself contained, within the confines of that documentary,
I can see what you're saying. Matt says he was awake for some reason, and he just said he watched The Gifted.
He's reporting from location. That location being his house.
Right. Well, so are we,
Yes.
but the location is our house. I don't know what The Gifted is.
It's the X-Men show.
That's why I don't know. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
one of
care.
those ones that's tied to the X-Men universe, but isn't tied to the X-Men universe, and it's, I don't know. We've gotten so wonky with continuity and things maybe being tied or not tied to things. It's so. I think we're getting superhero fatigue as far as universes go because people are getting confused of what's tied to what now at this point.
Well, here's the thing about the X-Men.
Matt liked it.
What was what was probably the last X-Men from high school? Our high school age, maybe early college. That I think was the last X-Men that I liked.
It was probably X2. I think X3 was out after. Here, let's see. This is where I've actually got to use the keyboard now. I can't use the box for this one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see. I think
X-Men
I said
lost me.
X3 Last Stand. I don't know why I'm calling it X3. It was just X-Men Last Stand, but whatever.
Yeah, when they redid, I don't know for what.
2006 was Last Stand, and that
No,
one.
it was before it.
Okay. Then X2 was the one before we graduated, and that was really good.
Okay, that must have been the last one I saw and liked. And I must have tried to watch Last Stand and didn't.
It was horrible.
Yeah, well, that might have been what had happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
It's very possible.
X-Men's kind of lost on me. I don't even really pay attention when there's X-Men news except to send it to you. Which, by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, please go give our Facebook page a like. You can watch
Yes.
us live there, too. And we are always sharing the best and the brightest pop culture news. We even get some scoops sometimes.
do.
where we find out something happens. And
And since we're talking about the different parts and stuff, we are now a podcast, guys.
Ooh, fancy.
I've
Do
got
the DuckTales noise. Yeah.
Hey, Matt, while you're sitting there in bed, just let me know if the levels on the drops are too low. I might have to redo some of these things here. But anyways, sorry, talking shop. And so, yeah, we are now a podcast, part of the Podbean service. So you guys can download the Podbean
Get
app.
your Podbean.
Yes, Podbean app. If you have the iTunes or the Apple phone or the Android, download the Podbean app and look for Popped Show. And I've posted the link a few times on our page, and I'll keep doing that for a while because we want you guys to listen. And then you guys can listen to the old podcast. I will be getting it up on iTunes for those who like to do the iTunes podcast stuff. I know a lot of people do. It's easy. A lot of people use it. But if you don't, Podbean. That's where Popped Show now lies in audio format because Facebook Live isn't really as great as Facebook Live is, we can sit here and talk to everybody and interact, and I can wear a towel. And people can't take Facebook and listen at work or that kind of thing. They can throw a podcast in and listen to it on their phone.
Or while you're jogging, if you're weird like me.
Also while we're jogging.
Or while you're walking the dog.
Yes.
Or cooking.
Yeah.
I'm just basically listing what I do every day.
Okay. Your everyday activities, you can now listen to Pop's Show as a podcast on Podbean. And we'll let you guys know when it's up on iTunes. I had to do some verification stuff. So, yeah. We're a podcast.
We're a podcast. We are official.
And I think I've only got some of August up there. I got to get the rest of August uploaded. And then what I would like to try to do once I get caught up is have this Tuesday's show uploaded to the podcast by the weekend, ideally. But, crap happens. Life gets in the way. Boring adult responsibilities, the worst.
Yes.
Here we go. I've got one for that.
Yeah. Being an adult is the worst.
Prepared.
You are prepared.
So, but yeah, I did a bunch of other stuff in pop culture. If you want to hear about it.
What else did you do? You finished that stupid Robot Caveman game.
Yes,
It wasn't stupid until you played it forever.
Well, I've logged probably about 65 hours on it. So, yeah.
Single-handedly.
Yeah. By myself.
We logged 90 on...
No, we've logged more than that. We're in triple digits.
I don't think we're in triple digits.
I'm pretty sure we're like a 104 last time 102, 104 last time we played Lego Dimensions.
Okay. Well, we did that together.
We did.
That was family time.
Yes. And then let's see. So I'll be starting Breath of the Wild this week finally, so we can kind of see.
Yay!
We can kind of see.
I could have just started it. I mean, it's the Switch. I can pick it up and carry it with me wherever I want to. I could play Breath of the Wild in bed if I felt like it.
It's very true. You could.
But I didn't because I know you'd want to see it.
Yes.
And we don't cheat on each other spoilery ways.
Well, yeah, when there's stuff both of us want to see, of course.
Right.
Yep. And Matt also says everybody should leave us a review on YouTube's or on the Podbean.
Oh, yeah. Like the give us some stars. You got stars. We want them.
Yes.
Because that's going to help us be too legit. So that
legit to quit.
That did it. Sorry. I just knocked us way back down with the legit comment.
Yeah, well, that happens.
Anyway, all right. What else did we get into this weekend?
I built a firehouse.
You did. That's right.
Can you guys see it? I don't know if you can see it behind me.
We need yet another firehouse.
Right there as the top of it.
It's
I'm not gonna move the camera because it's too much.
The Lego. It took less time than the Lego firehouse. The Lego firehouse took what, like 12 hours?
Playmobil Legos. I mean, so yeah.
We like toys here at Popped Show.
Yes, primarily Matt and me. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it keeps you busy, and out of trouble and whatever, and takes care of all that extra money that you've been acquiring. That's been
I don't need it anymore.
Been so pesky.
I kind of do because adulting, but still, I don't need it.
We went to a party. We went to the Muse Bash.
Yes.
That was fun.
It was.
For our local writing center, the Muse. They're pretty awesome.
They are.
Matt says eventually you're going to level up and buy an actual firehouse.
I mean, there are some city ones out there.
I might object to that.
Why?
Are you kidding? You
No.
don't know why I'd object to you buying an actual firehouse?
No. Damn it. You know what? I almost got the Ray drop where he's like, "You guys got to look at this poll. This is great. We should stay here tonight." I almost got that one, but I decided against it.
Oh, everybody.
I've only got so much room on this thing,
I know.
so there'll be some Ghostbuster drops eventually. It's only partially loaded.
Everybody has 3 mortgages. So let's see. Let's talk about movies.
Yes, what did you do?
American Made.
Okay, the
is
only Tom Cruise
the
movie you
only
want to
Tom
see.
Cruise movie I want to see.
Jessica's got it. They did a
Jessica,
poll.
no, don't take his side. No, this is how your friend winds up living in a firehouse. I'm just gonna say that, Jessica. That's what just happened. You sold me out, and I will be living in a firehouse.
Good day, sir.
All right, there we go.
Oh well, we didn't need that box.
No, we didn't need it. Well, now you threw me off my game.
The American Made Tom Cruise movie you
Oh
want to
yeah,
see.
the only movie I wanted to see got beat out by It.
Very narrowly.
Yeah, but still, It went from first place, blowing everybody out of the water, to second place, back to first place, just to beat the only Tom Cruise movie I've wanted to see in probably a decade. So I don't know how I feel about that. Like I don't know. I don't really bend to peer pressure with movie reviews.
Yeah.
Because movies are not worth the investment unless I really, really want to watch them.
I almost went to go see it just because of all the reviews doing really well. I just haven't had time to.
Yeah. Well, did you?
No, I haven't got to it yet.
Oh, okay. Well,
I just haven't had time. That's what I'm saying.
I
want to see it because of the reviews.
Did you ever watch the Dancing Pennywise that were dubbed
Yes,
over?
I did watch the
Okay.
Dancing Pennywise.
That is my favorite
a lot of
thing.
build up, but it was enjoyable.
Well, yeah, it was really silly. But Blade Runner, early reviews for Blade Runner are that it is excellent. And have you seen the original Blade Runner?
Yes, but years and years.
Yeah, it's been a while
ago.
for me,
I want to kind
too.
of watch it. I don't know. Is it streaming? Anybody know if it's streaming anywhere?
I feel like I would have seen if it was. I don't know. Blade Runner is one of those like culty movies from the 80s that
it didn't do well in theaters.
Well, it didn't age well.
Okay.
So I saw Blade Runner for the first time. Our buddy, friend of the show, Alex Federley,
Good old
whom you may
Alex.
know, picking fights with you, affectionately,
Right, of
picking
course.
fights with you on our
For the sake of pop culture.
I know we love him though. He used to host movie nights at his place when we all lived in Atlanta, and I saw Blade Runner there, and all like the premise is not it. Well, it wasn't new then, and it's certainly not new anymore. But it's like all. It's a picture of dystopia in 2022 or so. I don't know. It's not far.
What was the future back in the 70s?
Right, but
what is like in a decade for us?
Right, but it doesn't. All the there's neons everywhere, and it's sort of like dark and dystopian. But
Right.
it's like all the neons were Atari and Polaroid.
Oh,
And I know, and it was kind of like, oh, use the Womp one there. That's a good one. It's very sad.
Alexa said some of the levels, some of the drops were a little low, so
Oh,
I'm gonna
they were
work
low.
on them and kind of build them up the sound a little bit.
Oh, let's see. Jess says it's not on Netflix, but you can. Well, I'm sure you can buy it on Prime.
No.
They only let you rent the movies. They don't care if you see. And Matt suggests renting it from the Narrow, which is
Oh, that's a very good point, Matt.
it is a really good point. Although I kind of suspect it's not there.
Because
someone already
everyone's-
rented it.
Yeah. Blade Runner 2019, actually. So
Oh, well,
2 years.
I could be wrong yet. I could be wrong. Maybe 2019 will be dark and rainy and full of, Atari signs. Okay, yes, I agree that rampant capitalism was a theme there. I kind of think WALL-E maybe did it a little better.
I think you're a little biased for Wally, though, to be fair.
Obviously, I'm biased for WALL-E. It's the world's perfect movie. But yes.
Blues Brothers is the world's perfect movie, but okay. Maybe Ghostbusters.
we're going to fight. That's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to fight.
That's fine. We got an hour and 8 minutes to fight. Let's
No,
do
we're
this.
not going to fight.
Make
But
for good radio.
well, we don't have to fight because you're wrong. So
Oh, you know what?
You get
No.
nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
That's
Oh
what I
my
had to say to
God.
you.
So what are we putting WALL-E against Blues Brothers.
No, I'm gonna say Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters was the perfect film. That's my. I don't know. They're both really good. How do I choose between Ghostbusters and Blues Brothers?
I think Ghostbusters should be discredited because of a crappy sequel. Oh, so can Blues Brothers. Wally wins.
Just wait. Wally hasn't had time to get a sequel yet.
I'm just saying.
Give it time.
Wally is okay. So the thing about Disney sequels, I don't know how to finish that.
They're all video to direct to video.
No, Cars 2 wasn't.
Yeah, well, Lion King 1.5 and
Well,
Lion
yeah,
King
okay.
2 and
See,
Little Mermaid 2.
Alexa sides with me. Wally.
All right, and Matt's probably gonna. Oh, see, I want to. Is Matt still watching? I want to see what his
A Wally sequel is just real life, Jessica.
too
you
soon,
are
Jess.
you are not wrong. Yeah, Wally is better than Ghostbusters.
Whatever.
It is. Too bad.
Whatever.
Too bad. So sad. Although Ghostbusters is wonderful. Ghostbusters is a work of art, but they almost can't be compared. They're in different categories.
Nope. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
No, I got
So
nothing for this.
all right. So well, now I got sidetracked. It was obviously very important what I was talking about.
Movies. See, everyone's like, fine, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, so
Oh no, he's a great. Toy Story sequels are amazing.
Oh yes. See, the Toy Story sequels are good.
All right. Talk to me about the 2D animated sequels.
Disney cares about their
Are we? Did I hit a button? That's. Oops. So I did. I might have accidentally hit the button.
He transitioned us. There we
Wrong
go.
button.
Now we're back.
I was too busy doing things like.
Yeah, he's got a new toy that he's not done. Okay. We get it. Good job.
Good day, sir.
My God. Okay, Matt, when you come back, we're taking that thing away from him.
See, Matt likes Ghostbusters more. I like
More
Matt.
than Wally? Okay, Ghostbusters is definitely more lighthearted. Well, I mean, Wally is lighthearted too, but
I
it's
think
like,
they're both pretty lighthearted.
well, yeah, of course they are, but like the core of Wally is a lot heavier. Well, the Earth had to leave for 700 years.
Yeah, they're all just kind of floating around in a spaceship, being foul, fat, and happy.
Yeah, but like all they're doing is drinking everything.
At
out
least
of
they
the
were able to
cup.
make it off the planet. If Gozer had won, the world would have been destroyed
I don't know. This is
and covered in marshmallow.
Well, the world was destroyed.
Yeah, but they all got off the planet.
That doesn't mean the world.
Gozer wouldn't have let them have a ship to get off. Oh, no. Okay, I'll take Earth. You just get in the spaceship and go away. At least they got off planet in Wall-E.
I feel like humans destroying their own planet is more tragic than a ancient bit person. Why am I the cussy one
I
tonight?
don't know.
Inappropriate.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we.
Until I have. All right. It looks like Matt just jumped at in. Matt, you're the Disney guy. You're also with me on this 80s stuff. Ghostbusters or Wall-E?
No, you can't make him choose. That's like making.
I know he's already having an existential crisis this week. So
He
sure
is
gotta blow
having
his
an
mind a little-
existential crisis. I
blow
think
his mind a
Wally
little more.
is okay. Wally I think is a better movie than Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is a wonderful movie,
It is.
and
Best
I
movie.
would probably punch anyone in the face who said it wasn't. But yeah, I think Wally is heavy. No,
Inconceivable.
you're wrong, Matt. You're wrong.
See?
Ghostbusters. I mean, but can you imagine a world where?
Look, even Bradley's jumping in.
Oh.
Ha ha! The boys are winning.
Oh no,
You
no,
get nothing. You lose.
Brutuses
Good day, sir.
everywhere. Nothing but Brutuses. All right, well, fine.
Oh, yep. See, look, even Chris says,
What is BFM? Should I know what BFM
I don't know. I'm
is?
gonna pretend like it is though. I know what it is, so I can be cool. Oh, Bill F. and Murray.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, well, all right, yeah, you got me there. Wally was not heavy on the fancy actors with that one. Although you got
Well, no, they had what's his name?
Ratzenberger.
Ratzenberger, yeah, but I'm trying to think of the human in the video. Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, the
guy
guy
from Anchorman.
the Anchorman guy. Yeah.
I,
Who-
any other time I would be able to tell you this, but I can't.
So speaking of that guy from Anchorman, who I
Yes.
know who you're talking about, he is in. No, he's not. It's a different actor that I'm thinking of. But so that's an awkward segue into. I started watching Great News,
Okay.
which is a sitcom. It is a Tina Fey sitcom, and it is on
Fred Willard.
Fred Willard.
Sorry, blanked, guys.
Yeah, no, it's not Fred Willard. It's another guy. But Great News is a sitcom, and I don't really have a sitcom that I love in my life. Definitely not Will Ferrell. Just we could remember that one. Thanks, though. So I used to work in a newsroom, And I am familiar with the real life shenanigans that are less funny, more like go home and cry yourself to sleep every
Yeah.
night. So, but I do appreciate all the hilariousness of a newsroom and all the, the ripe situations that can come out of it. So I started watching. My new treadmill show is Great News. So I started with the pilot and I really enjoyed it. It was absurd in about a billion ways that newsrooms aren't.
It's a TV show, right? It's a Tina Fey show. Sorry, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I
It's
I
a
don't know
TV
if she,
show, of course.
Miles
like a
mentioned
TV
it to
show.
me. It was like a it was renewed and
It was under the radar.
it really flew under the radar. And there were a few shows that I have liked in my life that were flown real low like that didn't make the cut because why would they? They were so low. Like there was a show for a while called BFFs or Best Friends for. I mean, I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah.
But it had like a couple. It was just really funny. It was a good little sitcom, and that got canceled after like 5 episodes. I mean, it didn't even make it a whole season. But they didn't promote it. They didn't do anything for it. But this show,
Now you know how I feel about Powerless.
they promoted the heck out of that.
They did, and then they canceled. They didn't even finish the season.
Yeah, I know that is depressing.
You know what else we did watch though, because it made me think about it.
Hmm.
The Good Place. Which
we
watch
we
The Good
did.
Place. The
The-
first season is on Netflix. Starts slow. Second half of that season, delightful.
Yeah, watch The Good Place. We've been enjoying it.
And I like what they're doing with the second
Yeah,
season.
me
It's-
too. Which I thought surely there's a big twist in it, and I thought surely this is not going to hold up, but it did hold up. And Don't Call Me Shirley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
that'd be a good
know.
one.
Yeah, I
Maybe
got
should-
my
maybe I should get
airplane
that on
joke.
here. Okay.
Yeah, Good Place was hilarious. I'm really looking forward to proceeding with season 2 of The Good Place already started. Jess, it started a couple weeks ago. We've had 2 episodes so far. And what is it on Wednesdays? I don't even know what nights they come on anymore.
Doesn't matter. We have streaming.
We do, yeah, we stream. I've watched the first 2 episodes of this season. No,
3. We've had 3 episodes of The Good Place.
no, we
Or the
haven't.
good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have because there was a 2-episode premiere. I thought, wasn't it?
I don't think so.
I feel like there was.
It's on Hulu, Jessica.
No.
But-
no. Netflix has the first season of The Good Place.
Oh,
The first season, I'm pretty sure, is on Netflix.
Brad, we did not see Emerald City before it was canceled.
Was it the Oz?
Yeah, it was
kinda
an
thing?
yeah. No, the other Emerald City.
I don't know. That could have been. I don't know. They do every few years. They'll pull up a Wizard of Oz kind of like new take on it.
I'll do
I
a
heard
lo-
good. I think I heard good things about Emerald City, but just not a lot of good things.
Well, it got canceled.
yeah.
It's
Well,
not.
yeah, not season 2, Jess. We're
Oh, season 2 is on Hulu.
we have Apple TV, so we use the NBC thing and that kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, Matt says it's on Thursdays. So,
Oh, all right. Well, good to know.
Yeah. and Matt's waiting for Stranger Things, as are we.
Oh, yeah. That's
all.
the end of this month.
Yep, and that's we're supposed to be getting. I heard the producer say at least 4 seasons, but he's got plans for like 5th and maybe a little bit extra because money.
Right. Yeah. It's. I mean, I'd imagine it's an expensive show to produce.
Right, I would say so.
But it's. I mean, it's really well done. They take so much time with the cinematography, and you can tell that it's very carefully shot. So I don't know. I had kind of anxiety with Stranger Things because I don't do anything scary.
That's true.
Also, I wouldn't shut up about how I used to live in Atlanta.
Also true.
I know, and you loved that when I interrupted every 5 seconds to tell you that I used to work in that building.
I turn it around and interrupt you on this show every 5 seconds, so it works out.
Yeah, that's true. It does work out. But there's gonna be like a new bad guy or the same bad guy.
It's like some sort of shadow monster.
Yeah. So I'm a little worried about having to Google that first. But I know that we're not gonna binge it the first weekend, and Images. Don't give me those eyebrows.
Why are we not binging it the first week?
Well, we'll binge some of it. We're not going to make it through the whole season. They're not going to reveal the monster on the first episode, I say, and then they're going to do that and scare the crap out of me.
I mean, I'm okay if they do. It happens.
Alexis can't handle Stranger Things either.
It's her loss.
It's a really good show, and I would have been remiss if I hadn't watched it. But like, I'm trying to think. Some of the shows that we really loved aren't coming out for a while. I mean, we're not getting another episode of or we're not getting another season of Westworld until like next year, right?
Yeah.
At like mid to late next year.
We've got an episode of Last Week Tonight with John Oliver to catch up on.
We
too, by the way.
do. I know. We're so far behind. But yeah, great news is my new treadmill show. Tell me your treadmill shows, because my treadmill show for the longest time was every episode ever of The Biggest Loser, and then Hulu took it down, and then I complained about it on Twitter.
Didn't
and
they respond back?
They did. And not only did they respond back, but they responded to something they weren't tagged in. So what had
impressive.
happened was I was complaining about it to some of my TV buddies, but I didn't actually tag Hulu. And one of them eventually did, but it was like way further down the whole conversation stream. And then Hulu like went back and read through and found my initial complaint and commented about how, yeah, they know it sucks. But it turns out I wasn't the only person to complain. I mean, The Biggest Loser is kind of objectively a terrible show. Like,
There are no guilty pleasures.
no,
as
this one
Miles
was
has
a
said.
guilty. This one was a guilty pleasure because I know it was a bad show, and it's not even like healthy. There's nothing I can hide behind that would make it a good show. Oh, How I Met Your Mother, quality treadmill show.
How I Met Your Mother, Parks and Rec, 30 Rock, but now which is switched over to Hulu, not Netflix.
Yeah, Parks and Rec's on Hulu.
The problem is I utilize the download feature on Amazon Prime and Netflix quite often because
Yeah.
there are places I go. Surprisingly enough, Matthew, there are places without Wi-Fi. I know
Well,
it's hard to believe.
At peak
there are.
hours, the gym is too slow.
Also valid.
so it helps to have something on your iPad to watch if you don't.
How I Met Your Mother, though. You can't download it.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. Could download Parks and Rec, could download
Is it
30
because
Rock.
it was a CBS show?
Possibly.
Yeah, I bet that's what it is. CBS, which is another thing. The Star Trek's supposed to be really good.
We got Henry on in a little bit, probably about 20 minutes or so. And he's going to be talking about
complain to him.
and we'll do news after him. Greg's supposed to be calling in, but I know he's also in a very fancy business meeting right now for
Oh,
his
he's doing
comic
fancy
show.
business.
So let's see.
I heard someone who didn't hate Orville.
Who?
Michael, the guy who runs the Muse.
He enjoyed it, huh?
He enjoyed Orville. He's gonna keep watching it, and I'm pretty sure everybody else called it a dumpster fire. And I really like Michael. I don't think I'm gonna follow him on this one.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's worth my time. But and I never really had a lot of interest in it to begin with. But heard a small voice in the void say that Orville wasn't bad. I also heard while I was at the Muse, when we were waiting for class to start, heard another small voice in the void say that Kathy Bates show on Netflix where she owns a Disjointed.
Yeah, Disjointed, yeah.
I
There
see.
you go.
I kind of thought that would be funny. I like Kathy Bates.
Well, it's by Chuck Lorre, too, who's done Big Bang Theory
Right.
and Two
and
and a
I
Half
and I
Men.
like Big Bang Theory too, even though like if Matt were here he'd fight me. He hates it, but I like Big Bang Theory.
Nerdface. as
Well,
he
yeah, he
it.
calls it nerd face, but I like Big Bang Theory.
Plenty of people like plenty of people like Big Bang Theory, and that's why it's been on for up teen seasons. So
See, now Jessica thinks it's funny too. She and I heard, but all the reviews are that it's terrible. And I am not a person to like hang my hat on reviews. I'm really not because they've been wrong, I've been wrong, everybody's been wrong. But I heard it was really funny, and I kind of want to watch it now. I think Kathy Bates is hilarious. I think Disjointed could be worth a watch.
she says in a Cheech and Chong way, and that's actually brings up a kind of an interesting point. Are we
Awful acting, but see, I like Kathy Bates. Is Kathy Bates awful? Jess, tell us. And Matt wants to set Chuck. No, we do not.
Matt's also said he's still watching Orville and he still hates it.
Wait, is he still watching Orville? Is he still watching Big Bang Theory?
He's not watching Big Bang Theory. Come on.
Oh no, Kathy Bates is bad or not bad? Yeah, we clarify. Oh,
Yeah.
Kathy is a weed angel. Well, that's something
Weed
you can take to the bank.
Is it?
Well, I don't know. I trust her review.
But I forgot where I was going with this. Oh, the Cheech and Chong way thing. Are we past that kind of style of humor? Have we kind of moved on past the drug humor because, not that they're legal by any stretch, but they're a little more prevalent in our culture, so it's a little less of a taboo? Is that? I mean,
No, drunks are still funny, and alcohol is legal. I mean, just because it's legal doesn't mean it's not funny.
okay. Well, I'm just curious. I mean, Cheech and Chong. I mean, the pot humor. I mean, it was in its time was I don't want to say taboo, but I mean it was different because of the
Yeah,
stigma
I
on
know
that
what
stuff.
you mean. And there's, pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
And speaking of envelopes,
Speaking of envelopes,
we have Greg with us.
is Greg an envelope?
I don't know.
Hey, guys.
I'm not good with segues tonight.
Obviously not.
Greg, I'm sorry I just called you an envelope.
I was gonna say speaking
okay.
of illegal drugs, the hottest drug of them all, Greg.
No, see,
Nah, that
that's
didn't
a-
work either.
At
Thank
least
you.
At
That's
You're
least,
welcome.
much
See,
better.
okay, Greg liked it. That's all that matters.
I mean, at least an envelope. I mean, everybody needs an envelope, Greg. Not everybody needs drugs.
And
Yeah,
you
but-
know, honestly, I feel like at this point everyone does need drugs.
You know what? After the week we've had,
he's got you there.
you're not wrong. So I will concede Keith wins the segue battle this time.
And you know what? I'm
this
gonna
week.
this week, just for this week.
I'll be
Next week's a
back.
whole other story.
I'll be back next week.
So I'm gonna now that we got Greg here, you know what that means? We
we-
play an intro.
We have the fancy intro.
Ooh, so loud.
Yeah. That music just plays on loop at Local Heroes, by the way. We are always getting down.
Local Heroes is actually a dance club that has comics.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we all have a great time every time you go in.
I love it. You
Yeah.
should just play that for the whole show.
We could. We got all sorts of like little music things, and now I've got. You probably missed. How's your meeting? You were in your fancy meeting, but well, I got,
It was great.
good. I now have a little toy here that I can just push buttons and things happen. It's pretty great. I can
That's
play all
awesome.
sorts of stuff. Yeah.
I don't know if awesome is the word I'd use.
It. You know what? You know what? This is what you get. That's what you get. I don't know. That's all I got.
Burn.
Yep, I got you there. So, Greg, what do we got this week in comics? Is it a big week?
It's a pretty awesome week. I was going to talk about Legacy. Is Mr. Poopy Pants, is he off tonight?
Yes, Mr. Poopy Pants is work has burnt him out. He is burning the candle at both ends, and he needed a night off. So we're like, all right, we can do the show without you. It is
You
just
sure can. And we can talk about Marvel comic books.
all right.
and
Yeah, since
their
he's not
attempt
here.
to make better comic books. Started last week with Legacy,
Okay.
which was just one single comic, and it was really good. And then this week is the first full week of back to basics, superhero stories, characters you've missed, characters you loved, new characters that have been well received, and it runs through all the Marvel books. So that's week one this week, Legacy.
Awesome.
All the hype. It starts,
And it lives up to it.
So I'm excited. What's that?
It lives up to the hype.
I haven't read any of these. I read Legacy and I like that a lot, and haven't read
Okay.
any of this week's stuff.
Okay.
I just got it in, so
Gotcha.
I'll take them home tonight and read them before I go to bed. I'm sure they won't all be amazing, but hopefully this is a step in the right direction for Marvel.
Fingers crossed.
Yes, they need good comics, and they
Yes.
can't. And it's they can make good comics, and they've made some of the best comics. So hopefully they'll get back there in very short order.
Yeah, Matt's listening. He's just listening from home, and he said he loves Marvel. He just wants them to do better.
That's what we're aiming for here. So
Good.
Hopefully, that's where they'll hit the mark.
Fingers crossed.
Another really cool book tomorrow for Walking Dead fans. It's a hardcover about Negan, and it tells all his backstory. It's written by Kirkman and drawn by Charlie, so it's the same dudes that do the monthly book. This has not been collected before. It's all new material, and it's out tomorrow in hardcover form. It's a skinny hardcover, but it's got the whole story of Negan's background and what made him the super bad guy that he is.
That's
so
cool.
that looks cool for Walking Dead fans.
I saw Jeffrey Dean Morgan said he wanted to do an origin episode of, Negan. So now that this book is out, maybe they'll try to throw something in there to kind of cross promote everything.
Yeah, they do. I think they take for the comic when it suits the show. So hopefully, if they do an origin for him, this is what they'll draw from.
Gotcha.
Another book I'm really excited for tomorrow. There's a comic called Punk Rock Jesus, and it was drawn by and written by Sean Murphy. He's done a bunch of other stuff since then, mostly artwork, but he is writing and drawing a Batman book tomorrow. It's called White Knight, and it basically pits Batman and the Joker against each other, but Batman is the bad guy. And it's a really awesome first issue. It's beautifully drawn, fun to read, and that's The first issue is out tomorrow, Batman White Knight
Okay.
by Sean Murphy.
Gotcha. Now, is that a limited run? Is it an ongoing thing?
Yeah,
What's the...
it's a miniseries. I
Okay.
think it's going to be 8 issues. I might be wrong about that, but it's definitely not an ongoing book. It's just
Okay.
a limited series.
Sounds good.
Speaking of Batman, the Metal tie-ins continue tomorrow. There's been 2 so far. The Red Death and Murder Machine. Tomorrow is Batman Dawnbreaker, and the first 2 have been really well received. I don't see any reason why the third one won't be as well received. They've all been pretty solid.
Good.
DC's been doing a great job with the Metal books. Fans love the story, and it's good to see that they can bring what the fans like and do a nice series. And these have all been great. So tomorrow, Batman, the Dawnbreaker.
Awesome.
And the book I'm personally most looking forward to tomorrow,
Which
Punisher Max by Garth Ennis and Goran Parlov. These guys did the Punisher Max series years ago, which is really the definitive Punisher run. They did a book called Barracuda Punisher, which was amazing. They did the Fury Max series a few years back, which was spectacular.
Okay.
It's basically a history of Nick Fury. It's the adult version. And they're doing the Punisher miniseries tomorrow. It's called Punisher Platoon. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be as great as all the other stuff they've done together, featuring Punisher and Nick Fury universe. They've done amazing comics, so I'm stoked on that. Top of my read pile.
If it is the top of Greg's read pile, you know it's going to be good because Greg has great taste in comics. So
I like these guys on Punisher. They do a really good job, and a lot of Punisher comics just aren't that great, but when these 2 guys do Punisher stuff, it's pretty amazing.
Awesome.
So,
Punisher Platoon. So awesome. Well, I know where to go tomorrow, but why don't you tell everybody else who's listening, tuning in, where they can go tomorrow to pick up their comics?
They can go to their local comic store, and if they don't know where that is, they can find one at comicshoplocator.com. If you're in Norfolk, come to Local Heroes. We're in Ghent, 1905 Colonial Avenue, near Kogan's and Cafe Stella. We are not the best store, and we're certainly not the worst store. So
you guys are the best. Don't sell yourself short. You guys are the best.
Thank you,
spend
sir.
a lot of money there. So
you do. Thank you, and bless you, sir. Thank you.
No, anytime. Happy to help, dude. You guys have a great store. I know. I mean, Sarah, Matt, they all love going there.
Yeah, we do. And I got my ring. I can't complain. So as long as he has room in the budget for the girlfriend, as well as the comics, we mix.
That's all that matters.
We mix.
Well, I have a buddy of mine who I play in a band with, Greg, and he went to Local Heroes for Batman Day, which was I think 2 Saturdays ago.
Yeah.
Saturday, 2 Saturdays
a
ago.
couple weeks ago.
And he said it was his first time there, and because you're on the show, and he decided to go and support. Took his daughter with him, and they loved the shop. So kid friendly.
That's great.
Which he really appreciated. Everything was nice and clean and orderly, and yeah. So you might have yourself.
Did he get a
new
cupcake?
Fan.
Did he mention the cupcakes?
I think he did. I think he said he really enjoyed it.
Good.
Well,
I slaved over those cupcakes. So
what's not to love about cupcakes?
Cupcakes from Greg.
Made from scratch. Even the frosting I made. So
Ooh,
I mean,
look at
they
you.
were no slouch. They were serious. It's serious business on Batman Day.
Not only a business owner, but a culinary chef extraordinaire.
He does it all, ladies
Seriously.
and gentlemen.
Awesome. Well, I will see you tomorrow, sir. Cupcakes or no cupcakes, I will be there, and you guys should be too.
Wonderful.
So thanks for calling in, Greg, and we will talk to you next week, man.
Thanks, guys. Have a good week.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Awesome. Well, living the dream. Comic Book Wednesday. How are you working on that big old stack of back issues? That's the thing.
That's so many.
Before you had a life, you were so happy. You got
just
your
do whatever
comics.
I want.
You read it. You bought all the DVDs.
Good.
You filled
Bag
your
and board
whole
my
house
comics.
up to the brim with pop figures. And now there's a woman around.
Yeah, I don't. This is life now.
What a shame.
It's.
You were so happy.
I still get to do plenty of the stuff I do now.
Yeah,
but,
we do different fun things.
We do different fun things.
But you are behind on your
I've
comics.
got a stack of trades right now that is just all over the place. And you know what? That's
Okay, really? We had to get Admiral Akbar in here to say what? It's a trap. Yes, no, I get it. I know
Yeah, Jessica's right. Those pesky girls.
I know it. Well,
Ugh.
I make you breakfast.
That is true. There is food involved, so that helps. And I got here we go. This is what it was really like.
Aw, level
Powered
up.
I'm gonna have so much fun with these drops.
I know. It's not going to get annoying ever.
Nope, of course not, because
So, okay, how have we felt about the fall TV season? I've watched This Is Us.
yeah, that's what we were talking about before Greg
I've
called in.
watched,
So
we are on season 2 of The Good Place. What do you
I'm
think?
finishing up the final season of Turtles.
What do you think, viewers and friends? How do we feel about fall TV? You know, it feels like it's been very whelming the last couple years. Not over, not under. I get my few favorites. I feel like this mattered more years ago, and that's probably has to do with streaming and stuff. I mean, we saw that the streaming shows killed it at the Emmys. Handmaid's Tale was like knocking everybody out.
Yep.
Um,
What else? Westworld, HBO, Atlanta.
yeah.
Those aren't streaming, but you know.
Right, but streaming, like if you're not streaming, you're almost like dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
because,
even Jessica said earlier she relies on Amazon and Prime, or not
Yeah.
Amazon Prime and Netflix. Duh.
Amazon and Prime.
Yes, both.
It's like a transformer.
So
That's
sure.
Optimus.
Yes, that's close. Bradley just brought up a question. The Good Doctor. Well, I feel like Henry's probably seen this. I have seen the previews for it, but I have not watched it. Have you heard about this one? Have you seen the trailers for this one?
I have not.
The premiere was on the 25th of September, so they've only had 2 episodes, and they have gotten a full season order from ABC. There we go.
Huh. Well,
And the kid looks really familiar, and I was trying to figure out where I recognized him from. And he was Charlie in the Charlie and Chocolate Factory, the Johnny Depp one.
he sure the
Not-
heck
not the-
was.
Good day, sir.
No, yeah,
Not-
no, I know
oh,
what you meant.
that
Yeah,
one.
because that Charlie's like an old guy. now.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
he was August Rush too.
Yep.
Look at that. Okay, well,
yeah,
good
so that's
for
why
him
he might.
getting
That's why you
work.
might. That's why you might recognize him.
Oh,
So-
Alexis loves it.
Okay, good.
Bradley and Alexis both love it.
We personally haven't seen it.
No,
It's
we
just-
haven't seen it. I honestly it was not in my brain at all. But yeah, if you guys like it, I'll give it a watch.
Yeah,
I mean, why the heck not?
sure. It's got an interesting premise. I like.
Have iPad will travel.
Yeah, basically have internet. A young surgeon with autism and savant syndrome is recruited into the pediatric surgical unit of a prestigious hospital.
Oh.
Can the question will arise: can a person who does not have the ability to relate to people actually save their lives? I would not know because I do not save lives, but I cannot relate to people. That helps. You know, I'm halfway there.
Well, I mean, you know, I like a good medical drama. I stopped watching ER when Dr. Mark Green died, which was in 2001. So, you know, I mean, I like a good medical drama. They don't get too sciencey about it, and House did really well.
Yep, and Jessica brought up a good point. Norman Bates as well. That was another one he was in. For the Bates
Oh,
Motel.
Yeah.
That's I never saw it, but I remember seeing commercials and stuff for it. So
You know, that's funny because I saw, speaking of Norman Bates and all this whole like series of horror, you know, that's on TV now. And I remember like when the
it's another one watching Ash versus the Evil Dead.
nice. It's very you. Not gonna watch that one with you. But
But you watch Evil Dead.
I will watch Evil Dead because it's in the book that's ruining my life.
And then Evil Dead 2 at the Narrow.
Arrow, yes, and Evil Dead 2 at the Narrow.
October 20th, if anyone wants to go to the Narrow with us. we're
But
gonna go see Evil Dead
anything
2.
at the
Continue.
Narrow, I like. But anyway, I was looking at an article the other day that was talking about the horror genre and how it is impacting, you know, on TV now. And
Okay.
you know, I just don't know. I mean, when I was a kid, the creepiest thing on TV was Unsolved Mysteries, which I'm sure was not actually the creepiest thing on TV. But
Murder, She Wrote.
Henry, you are with us.
Hi.
Hi,
Hello, everyone.
we are talking about fall TV, and we know you're the guy to talk to.
Well, thank you. Yeah, so what have you guys been they talk about any specific things? Are you watching anything new lately?
Well, we were talking about our shows that are coming and that we've enjoyed with season 2 of The Good Place.
The newsroom for you.
No, not the news.
newsroom.
Great News. I
Great
started
News,
Great
yeah.
News, and I quite enjoyed, as you know, because we met in a wacky newsroom that was sort of not at all like that, but
Yeah.
But similar enough to give you
Yeah,
flashbacks.
it's a funny show.
yeah. Now that has been renewed for a second season. We're on a second season of Great News. How's that doing?
I think it's doing okay. It's not. It didn't like blow up in the ratings when the first season came on. But then NBC's sort of still in like the rebuilding of their sitcom lineup after The Office and Parks and Rec ended. So I think that they have kind of lowered expectations. The Good Place and Great News have very good reviews. Critics love them, and obviously they brought back Will and Grace last week, which, depending on how you look at it, is either like the best news ever, or it's like showing that NBC kind of has no ideas out there, and they're just like grasping at whatever they can bring back.
But in Will and Grace's defense, though, yes, I don't disagree with that, because I am also a very adamant detractor when it comes to that kind of stuff. Will and Grace came back, and it seems like they haven't even missed a beat. Like, it seems like they just they just took a few years of break, and then they're right back to it.
Yeah, and they had to explain how the finale wasn't really a finale, and they had to retcon the whole thing.
Yeah, well, that's gonna be the new norm when shows like Roseanne come back and stuff like that.
It couldn't have been worse than
Roseanne's gonna have to be a
Roseanne.
major one, yeah.
Well, because wasn't Dan dead the whole time?
Well, he died at the end, and now all of a sudden, with the new reboot of Roseanne,
the whole final season was a dream, so they can probably just say like, oh, well, that was a dream within a dream. So.
Oh, for crying out loud!
Yeah, Roseanne's gonna come back, and he's gonna be alive. He had faked his death and all this nonsense, and they're just that's the new norm.
Whatever,
just, back to the status quo of the late '90s, early 2000s.
Okay. So what
Yeah,
about
we'll
other
see
comedies?
How that one comes off as effortlessly as Will and Grace has so far. I heard that the reviews said they screened 3 episodes for critics, and things really start getting better with next week's episode. The main criticism last week was they were trying a little too hard to be relevant with like a million Trump jokes through the entire episode that started to get tired after about half the episode. But apparently they're going back to like, the episodes that are coming up will be like just like if you saw them in 1993, they'll be the same thing you saw. You'll feel like you were just watching old episodes.
Yeah, that's kind of what, and they went for the easy political fodder, but what I thought was, they kind of poked fun at both sides. I appreciated that, and I'm excited to hear that they're actually going to kind of drop the political stuff and get back to what they do best, and it's just mocking each other and the social climate.
They had to grab that low-hanging fruit first,
it was.
though.
I mean, that's how you're going to pull people in, unfortunately, these days. That's, it's the state of the world. So
what else do we have when we're talking comedy?
Well, the biggest ratings grabber of the whole season, and I'm sure it's going to probably stay that way because it had like the best ratings of anything in 4 years, was Young Sheldon when it premiered last week on CBS after The Big Bang Theory. So it had obviously that really big lead-in, and then it was obviously a sort of a prequel spinoff to The Big Bang Theory. So, a lot of the people hung around to watch it. Because of Thursday Night Football, we're not going to see another episode for another month or so. So we'll see if they can hang on to those ratings, but it did really well. And then we also had Me, Myself, and I premiere last week, which I thought was a great pilot, with Bobby Moynihan from Saturday Night Live, and John Larroquette, and one of the kids from It. I forget his name, but they're basically, the idea is they play the same character, and we see them in the 1990s, and then the year 2039 or something, and then in the present day. And the sort of, go back and forth between the past and the present and the future. So I thought it was an interesting idea, and I thought they did a pretty good job with the first episode.
Nice. I was kind of curious about that one. I like, 2 of the 3 actors because I'm familiar with the 2 of the 3. So I'm kind of curious to see kind of where they go with that one. But didn't Curb Your Enthusiasm? You wrote a review on popshow.com. So how was that for those who didn't read the story
came back.
yet?
Yeah, that was off the air for about 6 years, so it came back and similar to Will and Grace. They never really ended. It was just like they hadn't stopped. The only thing that has happened is that basically Larry's been divorced from his wife for quite a while, and he also wrote a musical in the interim, which has become sort of the start of a season-long story arc, which I won't spoil anyone for, but it's really funny, and it's definitely a much welcome return for that show.
Okay. So, Henry, got a question for you. Did you watch Young Sheldon?
Yes, I did.
Did you enjoy it?
I thought that was pretty good. The actress, I'm blanking on her name, but she played Sheldon's mom. She was the daughter of Laurie Metcalf, who plays Sheldon's mom on The Big Bang Theory. So
Okay.
It was like a completely easy to see the resemblance and to see how the similar acting styles. So I thought that she's very well cast, and I don't know, just the sister and the brother and the dad who don't quite understand Sheldon, and how he's probably got twice their IQ, and they just don't get like why he's so into science and stuff.
Gotcha.
I don't know how much that's gonna work over time. And the same with the young actor. I mean, he pretty much is playing Jim Parsons, so we'll see how it goes over time. But I thought it was a good pilot.
Okay.
And obviously CBS and Warner are trying to continue that gravy train going because they probably only got a couple more years out of Big Bang Theory, so we'll see if it's works.
We had a few detractors, so that's why I had to ask. To see what it was.
I like Big Bang Theory. I thought they could have been done though. They kind of lost me the last year or so.
I've seen a few episodes here and there, but I've never kept up with.
I
Big
mean,
Bang
I really
Theory.
liked it. I followed the story. It was my treadmill show. But anyway, moving on. So Young Sheldon killing it with the comedy, huh? They're ahead. Now, is there app? See, is there app? The app is the problem for me. I just don't want to pay for another app, and I feel like at this point I'm sticking my heels in, and I'm just gonna lose.
You're
because
gonna have
I want
to
to see Star Trek.
You're gonna have to if you want to see Star Trek Discovery, which has been actually trending up, I think. Right, Henry?
Yeah, we've only seen 3 episodes so far, so it's still too early to say. It did really well on when it aired on CBS. The thing about Netflix and all these other people is they have no obligation or interest in telling you how well anything's doing, and you don't really know how it's doing until they decide to cancel or renew a show. So we really are going to be left in the dark probably for a while about how Star Trek is doing.
Okay.
So, but the fan reaction has been pretty mixed. Again, it's the first couple episodes. A lot of people only saw the first couple episodes, so it's gonna have to build on the buzz of the people who are watching on the app and see how well received it is over time.
Okay.
I know this being Star Trek and the amount of publicity and money put into it, they're gonna run this first season and push it as hard as they can and see how it goes.
Well, hopefully they can make some stuff work then.
Well, our friend Matthew, who's watching, says he's ready for more Star Trek, and I've heard some really good things about it. So
are we getting?
Mm-hmm. And then you have the people who either love or hate the Orville, and then we'll see if that can go on past season 2, because they have a lot of people who really think it's great as far as a throwback to Next Generation, and other people who think it's the mix of the comedy and everything doesn't quite work. So.
Well, that's what I was going to say, Henry. Is you said that we couldn't judge off 3 episodes for what was it, Star Trek Discovery, but everyone's been judging Orville real quick, so.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They've had a few more in their belt, but I feel like there's some pretty big fans of it, and then there's some detractors, so it's going to be one of those two.
Gotcha.
I think both are going to be the same way.
Okay.
All right, so what?
It's sort of became this one versus the other kind of thing. Whenever something comes out, whenever 2 shows come out that have a similar concept, there's always going to be, you either have to be on the Team Orville or Team Star Trek. So
that's how it was with 30 Rock.
That's how fans are going to treat it.
That's how 30 Rock was with Studio 60.
And what we had Timeless and that other one. The time travel shows and the zombie shows, and we did it with No, we're with you, Henry. So, so tell us about some new stuff. What is new on the lineup that, besides Young Sheldon, obviously, which is killing it, that we can look forward to?
Yeah, well, we had just last Friday, which I know we've touched on already before. Marvels and Humans premiered. The full 2-hour episode premiered on ABC on Friday, and after a lot of really bad reviews and really bad press, and the ratings for Friday night were pretty decent. It's going to be leading into Once Upon a Time or vice versa in the coming Friday, this coming Friday. So we'll see if it can stick around or if it can. I mean, it's probably going to run the 8 episodes they ordered, but we'll see if it can get any further with that. Just considering there's been a lot of backlash to it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed what is it, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm looking forward to the S.H.I.E.L.D. in space.
Yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will be back and replacing it in the new year. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just kind of wish they did Inhumans as like a quick little mini series to kind of fill the gap in S.H.I.E.L.D. and maybe take the S.H.I.E.L.D. story a little bit further. But at this point, I think they kind of bit off more than they can chew with Inhumans. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's you've got between Humans and Star Trek Discovery, you've got these two big risks in terms of the networks are pushing it and they're spending a lot of money on it. So we'll see which one of these can keep going.
Yeah. Hopefully it's S.H.I.E.L.D. because it's gotten better.
Yeah. And of course, we've also got some other good comedies. The comedies have really been well reviewed this year overall. Ghosted has a pretty good response so far. That premiered on Sunday on Fox with Adam Scott and with Craig Robinson, who people know from The Office and Parks and Recreation.
And Hot Tub Time Machine 2.
Yeah.
And yes, of course, Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah,
Two.
both of them, right. And then we had The Mayor, which is premiering tonight on ABC, which has really good positive reviews as well. So there's been a lot of good reaction to some of these new comedies that are starting out.
Good.
And The Mayor, for those not familiar, basically is a young kid, probably in his early 20s, from what I gather, runs for mayor and wins, which actually sort of based on a true story. I know that's happened in a few places where a really young guy wins. So hard to believe that it hasn't been mined for a sitcom yet, but it is now. So so far the reviews for that have been good. And then we've got, as I said, back to the drama side, we've got The Gifted, which had a really positive reaction on Fox last night, which is based on the X-Men, which is sort of a spinoff from the X-Men. It takes place in the same universe as the movies, so we're going to find out what exactly has taken place, where Cyclops and everybody, Storm and all those people have gone off to, because apparently they're missing. So that's going to be a big part of the story arc as well. But we've got a few characters like Polaris, who is the daughter of Magneto. We've got a few characters who we've only seen maybe a glimpse of or not at all in the movies that are in this show. But so far, the tension building on the show, the story arc with the family that's running on the run from the Sentinels. So it's a great concept for the first season. They're doing 10 episodes, so it's going to be a really nice 10-episode arc, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
Okay. Now I've got a question. Is this show, they're not sure what happened to Cyclops and all the X-Men we all know and love. Is this going to be like How I Met Your Mother, and it's going to run for like 9 seasons before we even see Cyclops or Wolverine or any of those other ones?
No, I don't think. I think that they have an idea for a first season, and then they have kind of like some ideas for further seasons. But I think we're going to resolve whatever needs to be resolved within that first year, and then we'll move on to another thing.
I hope so. Have you
that's more like gather from it.
Gotcha. Now, have you seen Ghosted yet?
I need to sit down and watch that and catch up on some of these other shows.
Jessica
that's
is
one of the profiles I haven't watched yet.
Yeah, Jessica's saying it's like a funny X-Files. So
I'd watch that.
Yeah, I like Adam Scott, who tied us all in. Adam Scott played Ben on Parks and Rec, as Jessica said, and he became the Ice King. What was it Ice
Clown?
Yeah, no, Ice Mayor, Iceland Mayor or something.
No, Partridge, Minnesota. He started Icetown and then bankrupted the city. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just rewatched Parks and Rec.
It might be my new one now that 30 Rock's off of Netflix. So.
And then another one premiering tonight is Kevin Probably Saved the World with Jason Redder, which is they've gotten some good reviews. So people are saying that they changed the name from The Gospel of Kevin or something to Kevin Probably Saves the World. So they've been retooling it. So it seems like they're a little bit unsure of what the tone of it's going to be, because it goes back and forth from funny to heartwarming and all that. Basically, the idea is that Kevin is told by a woman who just randomly shows up in his house and says, "I'm your guardian angel, your guardian, I'm here to help you save the world." And apparently there's like 50 other people in the world who've been given this responsibility. So we'll see. And it's another one of those. There's another ABC show coming up, I think in the mid-season like that, which is on the same sort of idea where it's kind of like Lost, where you don't know exactly where it's going and what exactly this whole idea means. So we'll see what happens. But obviously Jason Ritter has been around for a while, and he has sort of the charm of his dad and being a lead actor, so he can certainly carry a show. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I liked his dad. His dad was good.
Yeah.
So what do you think we're gonna lose? What's gonna tank?
Oh, I don't know yet. It's way too early to say. Because I think, the thing is with a lot of these premieres, like people will tune in and watch the first episode, and then we'll see where it drops off. We also have The Good Doctor, which did pretty well with Freddie Highmore and from the producers of House on ABC. So all of those, I think a lot of these shows have done a pretty good, did pretty well in the ratings. I think that Inhumans probably won't last past the season just because the bad buzz is probably too much to overcome. But then ABC will just kind of come back and say, well, we only meant to be a season. So, but I can't beyond that, I can't see anything that's going to tank just off the top from what I've seen. I will say the CW has started. CW always figures their shows late. They're going to premiere a lot of their shows next week. Dynasty, the reboot of Dynasty, is one of the cheesiest things I've ever seen in my life. One of them, I think purposely cheesy and purposely ridiculous. So I don't know how that's going to be taken. It's going to be coming after Riverdale, so it's going to have that same soapy vibe with Riverdale, except that I don't know if people are going to watch this to hate watch it or if they're going to just turn it off.
Well, guess we'll have to see.
And then they also have a show called Valor, which premieres after Supergirl, which is I think it's about a woman in the army in the military. It's very much does not sound like a CW kind of show. So I have a feeling it's kind of off-brand for them. That may not work, but we'll see.
All right. Well, Henry, where can we find more of your awesome TV commentary?
Yeah, I'm going to be posting up my review of The Gifted, which I kind of sneak peek. Spoiler alert, I liked it. But yeah, you can see that and everything at Hank TV on Twitter.
Perfect. And you're also on popshow.com, where we love to share your amazing reviews. If you're watching this video on Facebook, scroll down for a link to Henry's review of the resuming of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yep.
Henry?
Yeah. And we've got a lot of stuff coming this month, like The Walking Dead and Stranger Things coming back. So once we have a better idea of the landscape, I'll be back in a few weeks to make some better predictions, maybe, of what's going to last.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
All right.
Thanks, Henry.
Thanks, Henry. Have a good one, man.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
So Ezra is talking about Great News. I was just talking about Great News. I have not gotten to any Tina Fey episodes. I've just seen the pilot on the treadmill, and I liked it. And I know that Tina Fey shows up. So
NBC, right? Is that or what?
I don't know. It's on Hulu.
Okay. All right.
I don't care. I don't care what network they're on. If it's not CBS, which I hate, I will not.
We don't hate CBS.
No,
we just dislike the way they are allowing us to access their content.
They're not allowing us to access their content.
That's what I'm saying. We dislike how they're not allowing us.
I disagree with their business practices there. I can say that tactfully, right?
You get nothing. You lose.
Yeah.
That's basically what it's like trying to watch CBS, right?
Yeah, that's what they've done. But I'm looking forward to the Jack Donaghy, Tina Fey character that Ezra is alluding to on Great News.
30 Rock is one of the top 10 shows for me, easily of all time.
Yeah, 30 Rock is great.
It's really a top-notch show. And if Great News is basically a news version of that, I might be in.
And
I
Tina
might be
Fey
watching it with you.
appears in eventually and produces Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, which I
Yes.
love.
Oh, that was
very,
another good one,
very
too.
dear to my heart.
Which is funny because I've been going back since I have been going back and rewatching 30 Rock. It's funny how many people from Kimmy Schmidt show up in 30 Rock. Like Titus is in there as Tracy's wife's hairdresser. Titus's boyfriend Mikey shows up oddly enough as a construction worker in 30 Rock as well.
He like whistles,
but a straight one.
He whistles at her, right?
So yeah, it's Tina Fey does some great shows.
Yeah, she does. There's the Tina-verse.
Yes.
We'll call it that.
Jessica's chiming in saying CBS is being a jerk because they could be introducing Star Trek to the kids, but they don't have credit cards at 12.
I know. The reason why I love Star Trek is because my parents watch The Next Generation.
But I mean, okay, so let's talk Star Trek for a second here, since we're gonna talk about this for a second. Where I'm trying to think. Next Generation aren't those on Netflix right now? Aren't some of the series on Netflix?
I don't actually know where The Next
'Cause I feel like-
Generation
I
is
feel like-
streaming.
I feel like Next Generation, at least it was on Netflix, because I know fellow podcasters, friends of ours, Ben and Jenny and Bob, they had their podcast Dork Trek where they went through and listened to all the watched all the different Star Trek stuff and then reviewed it for Next Generation. So let's see here. Okay. Oh, yeah. It looks like Next Generation,
Is it all of it?
classic series, Enterprise.
The animated series.
Oh,
Wow.
hang on. Let's see if these are actually. Oh, yep. Okay. Voyager. Yeah. It looks like I can click all of these here. Voyager, Deep Space Nine, the animated series. So yeah, it does suck that CBS is being kind of stingy with it. But yeah, see, and Ezra just confirmed it as well. All the other Star Trek that you grew up with your parents.
Yeah.
You can still watch that at least on Netflix, and then eventually CBS. I don't know, they'll continue being jerks, and you still won't be able to watch Discovery. But I did read a funny article that how TNG is the Next Generation and DS9 is Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
Star Trek Discovery will not be STD.
Good. We should
In case anyone was worrying out there, it won't be STD.
Yeah, good.
I think it's just going to be DIS.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Yeah, so.
I don't know. We should change the subject. It's making me sad. You want to do some news?
I don't know. I saw the news. That's not any. It's not any
it's not going
happier.
to cheer me up. It really
No.
isn't. It's been sort of a sad week.
All right, let's do this here. Press this button.
I'll do some news. Publimeter.
Metro.
No. It's just Publimeter. That's what we're going to call it. All my news.
You know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please.
It has
There we are.
been...
Oops. All right, cut to the news. Cut to the graphics. I already had the graphics up too soon.
Oh, well, you spoiled it. Okay, it has been a sad week of news. It has been. I'm going to start out without any of those images.
Yep, I'm going. Oops, sorry. I forgot the transition. There we go.
There you
Sorry.
go. I'm going to start out by saying that we are thinking of the families of the victims and the injured folks out there in Las Vegas. I hate to mention it because that's not what our show is about. We're not political, but I feel like it would be strange not to. And I want to reflect on the victims and know that we are doing what we do because it makes us happy, and we hope it makes you happy. And sometimes you just need to be happy to keep going. And it's no disrespect, but, just taking a minute. So
Yeah.
there you are.
Well, we're a little bit of an escape from all that stuff.
Well, absolutely. And I think that's the best thing about it.
Yeah.
So moving on. First item of news. They are animating David S. Pumpkins.
What?
Question.
Yeah, David S. Pumpkins. I watched that SNL skit an embarrassing amount of times.
So did I.
I have no idea why.
I don't know why it's so funny to me.
I
but
don't
it's
know why
just-
either. There's no logical reason for
There
me
really
to
isn't.
love David S. Pumpkins quite as much as I do. But I do. I loved it. I watched it about 1 million times. There's no good reason.
Have they given us any premise of what the cartoon will be about?
They have not that I have seen.
Just that we're getting it.
Just that we're getting it. We've got an image, a leaked
Yeah.
image.
Yes.
But
It's fitting.
what I think this ultimately proves is that can we make that full screen?
Yeah, we can make that.
Let's
full
make
screen.
that full screen just so people
Let's-
can revel in the glory of David S. Pumpkins.
Any questions?
Any questions?
There we go.
There it is, full screen. And I really adored this skit. I just thought it was hilarious.
It was just so utterly ridiculous.
I mean, it was
It didn't
so
make
ridiculous.
any sense, but it worked. You know what? And Tom Hanks didn't even want to do it at first.
And it was, he didn't want to do it. And it was right before the election, and everybody was depressed and miserable. Not as depressed and miserable as they was going to get. But there was
Only they
just
knew.
something about David S. Pumpkins that was just delightful. So I don't know. I kind of don't expect it to be awesome.
I'm watching it.
I'm going to watch it too, though. Of course we're going to watch it because that's what happens. And I don't know. I still kind of want to like pumpkin suit. And so, all right.
That was the hot costume.
That really was. David S.
Oh.
Pumpkins was an easy one.
yeah,
Why did you
back.
go all in with David Pumpkins? Yeah.
Any questions?
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right. Moving on. Next news story. So, this is such a depressing week. Monty Hall, the famous game show host, died at 96.
Yes.
Good long life, but still very sad. He was famous for hosting Let's Make a Deal,
Yes, he
which you
was.
would remember that with, everybody was dressed up in crazy costumes, but like really crazy. Like there wasn't like a witch. Yep, there it is, Monty Hall. There was like a guy that was dressed up like a table.
Yeah.
Anyway, he Let's Make a Deal, which is what I watched when I was homesick from school, and The Price is Right wasn't on.
Oh, Price is Right was clutch though.
Price is Right was the best.
So.
But Let's Make a Deal was great too. Monty Hall was legendary in his
Mm-hmm.
field. So,
Rest in peace.
yeah, 96. Good long
So,
life. Thank you for your service to the American public.
To jump back real quick to the David S. Pumpkins.
Yeah.
Did you see what Jessica wrote? The amount of annoyance that couple went through on their date night is so relatable.
She's not wrong. Well, I don't know. I don't actually open my eyes ever at haunted houses because everything scares me.
I agree with her actually because the haunted houses are ridiculous to me.
Okay. You're a big tough guy.
Yeah, well, I like to laugh at them because they can't do anything to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Well, that's true. They can't touch you or anything.
Yeah, so what are they gonna do? Not gonna scare me.
So, chances are you are watching on our Facebook page. Thank you
Yes.
for watching. Give us, if you don't already like us, give us a like, review
Mm-hmm.
us, please.
If you're not though, because we are now on podcast form and you're listening to this as a podcast, facebook.com/popped show.
Nice plug, babe.
Boom.
So, it's been on our Facebook page, facebook.com/pop show, but not on air yet, I don't think. So,
What's that?
there's going to be a Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Yes, there is.
It's going to be live action and CGI, which makes me think of like Garfield or the Smurfs or SpongeBob.
And that's what worries me so much about this. SpongeBob somehow managed to work.
SpongeBob wasn't CGI though, wasn't that stop motion?
No, the Halloween special coming out later this month is stop motion, but the movies, I think the last movie was a CGI movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
is that true?
it is true.
Weigh in on the SpongeBob thing if you guys know. But Vanessa likes to punch folks to scare her. Oh man, David S. Pumpkins, flat out. Vanessa runs into him.
Any questions?
So glad we've got that soundbite.
Me too.
Are we optimistic? I don't know. I mean, let's think about beloved video games that were ruined by movies. Oh, Mario.
I don't know. I still like that one.
But, do we have a beloved investment in Sonic? I mean, I like
Yes, I think Sonic. I mean, Mario is classic. Everyone's gonna know Mario. I think Sonic still has the. I mean, Sonic has been a cartoon plenty of times. They've got so many games. They've had comics. I think there's enough of a history there that they could do a movie. Now, if they're gonna do it properly, we'll see what happens there. But I enjoy the Sonic franchise. I don't. I'm not as well versed on it as I could be. But I know the games are kind of hit or miss for a lot of the fans. The new game has been, so far, the word out is pretty enjoyable. So we'll see what happens. I don't know what this movie's going to be like, though. So I'm a little worried.
All right.
See, even Vanessa agrees with me. She likes Mario. You
but
know what?
the
For that,
movie, though, but like Toad was like, okay,
Toad-
we can't go down that rabbit hole right now. We really can't.
Oh, you know what we need to find? We need to find our Shower Thoughts episode, because we used to do a show before this called Shower Thoughts, where we talked about the Mario Brothers movie. And didn't we dissect that?
We did. We did dissect the Mario movie.
Go back on the old RFR stuff, see what I can find it.
So back to bad news.
Oh, jeez, killing me with
I
this bad
know.
news. Oh, no pun intended.
Bad pun.
Yeah, I wasn't even intended.
Since we had our last show, we also lost Hugh Hefner, world famous chauvinist and founder of Playboy, and he also did some good stuff as well. He was an advocate for, a lot of equality. But I mean, he also ran a Naked Woman magazine, so everybody's a blend of good and bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, he passed away last week. He was 91, and I hear that. Who is it? Jared Leto is going to play him in a biopic.
And see, Jessica mentioned something before we got to it, because I inadvertently had the wrong images up, and that's my fault. But she said Michael Fassbender is going to play Hef in a biopic.
Ah.
But the article I saw today was Jared Leto. So I'd be curious, Jessica, where you heard the Michael Fassbender thing. If you can post a link there for us, that'd be great. Because I heard Jared Leto as well, and I guess I could see it. I don't really know. I'm not a big Jared Leto fan, but give him a shot. See what he does with it.
I don't know. Jared Leto was really good in Dallas Buyers Club.
Thought you were gonna say Suicide Squad.
I was not gonna say. I
say
really
I
didn't mind him that
never
much.
hit a woman before, but okay,
I didn't love him in Suicide Squad, but he wasn't like the worst.
He wasn't the worst. Wasn't exactly the best either.
Well, the whole movie was kind of a dumpster fire. So I mean, but I didn't
literally there were dumpsters on fire.
I don't think. Well, that is true, but I don't think that Jared Leto was the worst part of Suicide Squad.
No, he was not the worst part.
I don't think.
I will give you that.
I think he's better than what he did. But I don't know who could play him. I mean, now that I'm looking at this picture of him as a young man, he was not that great looking of a guy.
Well, he wasn't. And
in fact,
maybe
Jim
Michael
Parsons could play him. I don't know. I don't think he was bad. I mean, okay, well, he wasn't great, but
no.
But
I never saw Dallas Buyers Club, so that's that you've got.
I liked him in Dallas Buyers Club. Yeah, and see, he's a good actor. And Jessica says she could see Fassbender more. He played Steve Jobs.
Then see, her and Ezra are both saying Leto's a fine actor.
I mean, Leto is a good actor.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna not give him a chance. It's just not my first choice.
Who else could play him though? That's what I'm thinking. Like our friend Will, friend of the show Will, he mentioned who would play Hef in a biopic.
Who did you mention?
Nobody. He just asked who would play Hef in a biopic, and
Who would play Hef?
Okay, my first thought went to Leonardo DiCaprio because he is such a fox. But Jared,
I was thinking Leonardo DiCaprio because he was talking about the Stan Lee biopic at one point too. Remember last?
Yeah.
So,
but Leonardo DiCaprio is like suspiciously good looking, and I just
So was Fassbender though too. To be fair,
they are.
And I think Fassbender is too good looking to be Hugh Hefner now that we are seeing.
We got
as young as him.
Fassbender over Leto,
Which I would prefer Fassbender over Leto. I might go see it even if it is Leto. I mean, Leto's not going to keep me from seeing the movie.
right?
It's just not my first choice. I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Oh, what's the guy who's in
Zac Efron.
Again, suspiciously good looking. I think we need someone who just isn't like
Andrew Garfield, too good looking. Why am I picking good
no.
looking
Why
people?
I don't know. I'm
Okay, let's do a Google search for ugly actors to play Hugh Hefner.
Okay, who's the guy that's in the thing?
I got one for you.
The good.
Michael Cera.
Oh, that would be weird.
Jonah Hill. No, I'm just thinking super bad actors at this point.
Yeah, no. Who's the guy who's playing the lead in Disaster Artist?
Oh, Franco.
Yeah, Franco played Hef in that Linda Lovelace movie that I may or may not have watched like 3 times on Netflix. I don't know why I really like that movie.
No judging.
No, it's okay.
No such thing as guilty pleasure.
You can judge me. It wasn't guilty, but
Jessica says Leo does have a punchable face.
I
So
don't
there's
think
that.
Leo has a. I mean, I would do something else with his face, but
Inappropriate.
yes, I know, I know. I do not think Leo has a punchable face. Oh, Alex saw Mother. It's coming in late with the pop culture news, but if you are interested in his well thought out review of it, he's posted it in the comments there.
Ezra says Lovelace is an okay movie.
Yeah,
So
Lovelace
he's
is
not
okay.
knocking you for it.
And Jess loved, just she didn't love him, but younger Franco. Oh, yeah, baby Franco.
Dave Franco.
Dave Franco.
You know who he's married to?
Who?
Unikitty. That lucky son of
Really?
a bitch.
Aw. Don't we have a Unikitty drop?
Not yet.
Oh.
It's on there.
Unikitty is my spirit animal. And
I
I really
haven't
like
cut that
Allison
one
Brie.
yet. It's there.
Matt has noticed a phenomenon that everything he really loves has Allison Brie in it, and that's because
Well,
she's
duh.
awesome. So that works. Okay,
And it helps
yeah.
that she's gorgeous too.
Yeah, she is gorgeous and funny.
I think
know.
she's one of my 5.
We have like a mutual crush on Allison Brie,
I'm
so
okay
it's
with
cool.
this.
Yeah, we can give each other passes on that one.
Yeah.
And then like high five afterwards. But yeah.
Inappropriate.
Yep. So all right. So we lost Hef.
Yeah.
And now we have some interesting casting choices for his biopic.
Mhm.
Which makes me think about the oh,
Did you break it?
no, I did not break it.
Okay.
We have Stan Lee is still with us. Find wood and knock on it.
Yeah.
But Leonardo DiCaprio had mentioned playing him in a biopic, or had told him, or
Right.
Lee said it, or I don't. Somehow that
And
came.
well, yeah, I think DiCaprio said he would like to play Stan Lee in a biopic or something, and Stan Lee was like, "Nah, you're not good looking enough," which I
It
appreciate.
sounds like something he would say.
Yep, totally.
But Mark Marone. Well,
Who's Mark Marone?
I don't know who Mark Marone is. Let's Google Mark Marone.
Okay, Google Mark Marone. Let's see who
Is he a guy
is.
from The Thing? Sometimes they're guys. From...
Yeah, well, the guy from The Thing is usually who it is.
Oh, he's the dude from he's the director from Glow.
Oh, okay. I could see that.
Yeah, okay.
I can dig that actually.
Yeah.
No, but I'm like he can. I mean, I agree with Jessica. I don't think he's ugly either, but he's got that kind of everyday guy look to him.
yeah,
You
that's
know
what I want. Because I mean, okay, even though Hef literally became a playboy, literally.
I don't know.
Maron.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, now we know. I didn't even know his name, but that's a really good suggestion
Yeah, that might be it.
and really funny.
I think you're gonna have to have a. I think you're gonna have to have a comedian do Hugh
Yeah.
Hefner.
Oh, yeah. You have to have a comedian. Yeah, you can't play it straight. All right. Well, interesting casting choices for Hef.
Yeah.
Also, we had another loss this week.
Oh, they come in threes, don't they?
I know. I promise this is the last one for just that I'm going to mention right now.
Okay.
We are sorry to say that Tom Petty has passed away. and
We're sure though. It's
Yeah.
been confirmed.
So he had a cardiac episode and was taken to the hospital and was put on life support. And what had happened was someone had reported that he died.
Mm-hmm.
And the way it works with news is that they, for most people over a certain age or at a certain level of fame, they pre-produce obits.
Okay.
So
It's a little news insider stuff here.
oh yeah. So that way, like I guarantee you, everybody's obit on Stan Lee is up to date
Yeah.
because
They-
that
they,
way,
they update that thing weekly.
right? Well, these things take a long time to put together, a fair bit of research
Mm-hmm.
and fact checking and things like that. So they keep it together so that when unfortunately, it's CBS. CBS pushed their Tom Petty died story. Well, CBS
That's true.
is a pretty primary source
Yeah.
for most news agencies.
So everyone ran
Everybody
with
ran with it. With attribution, I would imagine responsibly until they could independently confirm it. But therefore, it spread like
it.
wildfire.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Tom Petty was dead and everybody was really sad. Well, it turned out that Tom Petty was not dead. He was on life support and was probably pretty close to dead, but not actually dead. So,
Jessica said they then deleted the tweet.
yeah, I think they did. So I don't know if that was accidentally tweeted or somebody just got punchy. It happens.
Right.
Terrible when it happens. CNN's done it before. They killed the vice.
Abe Vigoda.
No, that vice Cheney. They killed Cheney once. It was on the homepage. It
Uh,
it was awkward. But anyway, they deleted the tweet, but it had gotten out, and unfortunately, Tom.
Even we ran with it too.
We
because
did. We
were
ran
on
with it.
We were on with
Well,
pretty
because
quick.
it looked like it was from a primary source, and he was brain dead, and they were reporting that there was no signs of life or whatever, but he
Yeah.
was still technically alive and was on life support, and as a human being, with family and tons and tons of fans. So it was not an elegant. Yeah, it was.
See, Ezra says TMZ was the one who broke it. Reddit started saying he was dead, and then LAPD released it to the mainstream media. But I don't think anyone had confirmed it with his agents. Like, I don't think anyone had confirmed it with anyone.
I think his daughter came out and said he's not dead.
Okay.
I mean, it was just.
There was a lot of confusion.
It was a cluster, and it
Yeah.
was such a shame because it's a very serious subject.
Yeah.
And
And it's a very sad subject, too.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Petty has been around forever, and I mean, I saw him in Atlanta a couple years ago, and was still, he was on, and I really was impressed. I thought for sure that
So all the news on Tom Petty you're saying was...
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
I don't know if that was what I would have used.
I thought it was the shorter clip to Mass Hysteria, so... but it was a little longer. Forgot to cut it that long.
Yeah, it was a mess, and this often happens when somebody, when somebody passes away. However, in this conversation, which we're very sorry about, Tom Petty will be greatly missed, and his contributions.
I play in a band, and some of my favorite songs that we play are his. I mean, they're simplistic, but they're good songs.
His contributions to the music world are not to be minimalized.
Yeah.
But this happened, and then we started to find out that he wasn't dead. And then it all of a sudden became a situation of it's a hoax, which is not true and is regrettable the way that happened. And now he really is no longer with us. But
and everybody's sad.
That has happened before. I have been
It has.
I have been taken in by rumors that so and so has died,
Mm-hmm.
or has died again in some cases. Like I think Neil Armstrong died like 3 times. Neil Armstrong has been dead for quite a while, just so we know.
Rip Torn is not dead.
Rip Torn and Sidney Poitier are not dead.
Despite our Avengers casting last week,
Which we learned
they are
last
not dead.
week. So this and not to turn a popular phrase, fake news. This is
It's
not
really a thing these
new.
days.
Yeah, well, rumors about people's death, have been greatly exaggerated. That has been going on for a long time, and
Yeah.
people live.
Abe Vigoda was the big one for a while, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
people love to do that stuff. I've heard that the guy that plays Carl Winslow is dead. He's not.
Yeah.
That
Just something Johnson, Laval. I don't remember. I can't remember. I used to know his name off the top of my head. Now it's escaping me. So.
Oh well, Reginald Bell Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still alive. Just in
Yeah.
case you're worried.
Also a cop in Ghostbusters. Greatest movie ever. Most perfect movie ever. Way more than Wall-E.
No. Jessica, though, made a really good point that his family had to deal with this whole mess, too, which is definitely a huge part of it. It's very unfortunate. And then, yesterday was such a bad day. People were almost anxious to talk about things that weren't the tragedy in Las Vegas. And Margaret is still alive.
Yeah, I think that's another one that gets... Ezra said it, and I was like...
Wait,
a
is
minute.
she?
No, she's still alive.
She's still alive.
Her husband died. Roger Smith died this year, but Anne Margaret's still alive.
All right. Well, see, these things happen, and it gets confused. But some of these things, have really gone far. How long is it? I mean, it's been almost 30 years since we lost Biggie and Tupac.
Yeah.
And they are...
I feel like someone came out recently and started saying something about that, didn't they?
That Biggie and Tupac are still alive?
Or
they murdered each other? Or
the murderers, I don't know. I thought I heard some news the other day. Let's see what I can find here. No, finally saw.
I mean,
this is all stuff
so
from
these...
Okay, never mind.
And some of them are maybe not, the Kurt Cobain suicide, for example, it's pretty closed. But there's a lot of people who believe that Courtney Love killed him
There's also a lot of people who think we live on a flat Earth too. Let's just preface this topic for the evening with that.
Yeah.
So
is Shaq one of them?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. And then I will say that I was taken in. Now, see, Tupac in Cuba with Elvis, apparently.
You know who the biggest one is, and we didn't even think about it when we were talking about this for this topic today?
Andy Kaufman.
Boom, there you go.
Andy Kaufman was the first one faking his own death. Or is he dead? See, now that one I didn't... He's dead, right? He's dead. I mean, but a couple years ago,
I hope he isn't.
a couple years ago, his daughter was like, "Yeah, he's not dead." You know, so
well, and see, I bet that and Andy Kaufman. If anyone's gonna play the bit, it is Andy Kaufman, and like he has gotten everybody in on
like
that
he'll
bit.
play the bit until he actually dies, and then he'll be like, "Haha!" Like,
But then everyone else is playing the bit for him.
right.
I
So
don't.
yeah, I don't. There's a lot of like weird pop culture conspiracy theories. Matt and I genuinely gave at least 15 to 20 minutes of our life talking about whether or not, and I'm embarrassed to admit this, whether or not Katy Perry is actually John Benet Ramsey. Like we genuinely watched this whole video that's on. I mean, we watched the whole thing a couple times where it took John Benet Ramsey's sweet, little girl face and like spun it, and it became
One of those
Katy
face
Perry.
mold melt
And it was like,
things.
oh my God, it is the same person. And the voiceover in the video talked about the like the similarities. They both had religious upbringings. And
Yeah. Well, someone else that's similar, right? I was gonna let you keep going. I mean, if you want.
no, well, what I'm saying is, yeah, I really did spend some time thinking about the possibility that John Benet Ramsey became Katy Perry, and then I go on the guy's YouTube channel and look at the rest of his YouTube channel, and they're like really weird things, like pumpkins don't exist, and chemtrails are gonna kill us all, and chemtrails are not gonna kill us, and
Well, you know what I saw this morning, which kind of helped stir this topic up a little bit. Avril Lavigne has been dead since 2003.
I have seen that before.
But I did a little more digging today. Jessica, what is that all? All what? You gotta
Oh yeah,
clarify.
you guys are on about a minute delay from when we start. So
Yeah, so just clarify, guys. Sorry.
Oh, Katy Perry's the lost Deschanel daughter. I could see that.
Yeah, but the one I saw this morning was Avril Lavigne, been replaced by a fill-in since 2003. But the kicker, because I did some more research, the folks who started the rumor came out later on and said, "Yeah, we were just screwing with you guys. We were trolling you. We were just showing you guys that it can be that easy to put that stuff together."
But like that, Paul is dead, right? I mean, Paul
been
McCartney
dead.
was supposed to have died in the
We're gonna see Ringo in November,
the 70s. Yeah, we're gonna go see Ringo
Yep.
in November.
and the whole cover of Abbey Road has been kind of tied to that.
Yeah, and like supposedly, if you play one of them backwards and you hear Paul is dead.
Yeah,
Yeah. So there's
there's all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, there's all this stuff. Beyonce faked her pregnancy, which I don't know. I mean, she did a lot of photos.
I feel like she did. I feel
With,
like she
like,
was kind
her-
of out there with it,
Yeah.
What kind of conspiracies have you guys heard that you enjoy, or just that you kind of believe, or you're still not quite sure on?
No, it's really silly. I mean, 15 minutes felt like, I don't know, it might have been more.
It was still, there were plenty of discussions
And
after
we're
the fact,
obviously
too.
still talking about it.
Yeah.
So I clearly haven't actually released this whole Katy Perry, John Benet Ramsey thing. Although it's like 98% put to bed. You still have to worry about that. It's...
Did you see what Jessica said? Avril Lavigne's creativity's been dead since 2003.
You know,
Not her, just her creativity.
I don't know. I saw an article about Avril Lavigne where she refused to actually like touch the people who pay to have photo ops with her. She just either like awkwardly leaned with like that weird dead half smile.
To be fair, Mark Summers was. I mean, she just might be like a germaphobe, and she might be a whole Mark Summers thing where she doesn't want to touch people.
Well, then don't do photo ops.
Mark Summers did Super Sloppy Double Dare.
Good for him. I mean, yeah,
But he was
I
OCD and
actually
germaphobe.
mean good for him. But don't do photo ops if you don't
Yeah.
want,
No, I'm
because
with you.
I think about the photo ops that we've done that were so much better because we could get a hug from these people that we adore. I'm gonna get all like,
Oh,
you know,
really?
I know I'm gonna get.
Matt's
all,
not even here, and I've still got to deal with.
I
Cronin.
know.
Okay, so Ezra said his favorite conspiracy is Mikey from the Life Zero commercials dying from Pop Rocks and Soda.
Oh yeah, that's
Remember that one?
Yeah, I do remember Mikey. I've also heard that Nick Cage is a vampire
Yeah, because that photo.
because that photo,
looks
which is pretty
super-
weird.
super eerie.
Also, that Keanu Reeves doesn't age,
That might be possible.
which
though.
I'm gonna
I've-
say, looking at him, he
Yeah.
has not aged. I don't know. I haven't
And-
seen him lately, but he looks
He
really
looks-
good.
Yeah, he looks really good in John Wick. John Wick movies, pretty solid. Matthew Henson said Steve Harwell is Guy Fieri is ICP.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
Have you seen that one?
I haven't, but that. Oh yeah,
Yeah, you see it?
is.
Hold on,
Oh
let's see here.
wow. Oh man, that's kind of crazy.
Let's see here. Let me see
I
if
don't
can
know.
pull-
I'm gonna say the Richard Gere thing is more of an urban legend
Yeah, I'd say it's
than
an
a
urban legend.
conspiracy
Yeah,
theory.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, they're the same
yeah.
guy.
Let me see if I can I pull this up big screen for everybody? Let me see.
It doesn't help that their hair's all bleached blonde.
Yeah, let me see here. I'm gonna try to.
No, we're not gonna discuss Richard Gere.
Matt, you know what?
Inappropriate.
That's right. We are not gonna discuss Richard Gere.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull up second screen here for everybody here.
Today I read that Justin Bieber is a lizard person.
Okay, well that's a thing that's happening there. Yeah, let's this is that Guy Fieri, boom, Steve Harwell ICP thing. You know,
I can see it.
I can see it.
I mean, but why would one person do all that?
I mean, look at the stuff though. Look at the stuff they're doing. I can see it.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe they just like to lean that way in their photos.
Maybe it's a good angle. Maybe they all have the same manager, and the manager said, "No, you got to lean this way in your photos from now on."
Maybe.
So
in our deceased yet not deceased, we've got
Bieber
Bieber confirmed.
confirmed.
Yeah, I'm going to say he's probably a lizard person. Oh, I did hear that thing about Paul from the Wonder Years being Marilyn Manson. That was years ago, though. Marilyn Manson, by the way,
got crushed by pistols.
he got crushed by giant pistols. I
Yeah.
mean, he's all right, but he canceled some tour dates.
Yeah.
He was climbing a prop, and I wonder. I don't know if it's a prop that was supposed to be climbed, but at any rate, it fell over on him, and
he was trying to climb it or something,
yeah.
and it kind of toppled over.
I am surprised he's still relevant. But
Well, speaking of relevant and topical, OJ just got released this week, and there's rumors that he is one of the I don't keep up with the Kardashians. One of their biological fathers, Khloe. Does that sound right?
yeah, I can see it. Khloe Kardashian. Fake news and fake internet deaths are today's urban legends. Yeah, but what is Alex talking about? Oh, Rosie. Rosie has no opinion. Rosie's like, get that thing out of my face.
Nope. She's got nothing to say.
We got another one around here
No.
somewhere. He was begging to come
Way
up
more
with it.
talkative.
No. I don't know. Khloe Kardashian might be O.J. Simpson's daughter.
What did you hear about the one about the J.K. Rowling that she's not real? She's just an actress filling in for, the fake author that created Harry Potter because it was really created by
Is
marketing
the
people.
Twitter account real?
I would imagine the Twitter account's real, but
The Twitter account is
maybe
actually
she's just a comedy actress. She's not really an author per se, but she's just a comedy actress.
I don't know. I think she's real.
Well, I mean, no one's negating her actual physical existence. I mean, she does exist.
That is a person that exists in the world.
Yeah.
Well,
But they say Harry Potter was actually masterminded by a team of advertisers and writers who lab created a franchise.
okay, as
would
an
go on.
advertiser, I'm going to tell you that advertisers are not that creative.
Yeah, you never know.
If I had half the creativity, yeah, no. OJ was
The
released
release.
for Halloween. So here's a question, and here's another really, really old urban legend / pop culture conspiracy theory. Is Walt Disney's head or entire body cryogenically frozen?
I feel like we need to go to Matt.
No, I like this better without Matt here.
But if anybody's going to know, I feel like, Matt says Matthew says he can see the rolling thing.
I mean, I don't think that advertisers play the long game. Like, I mean, that's serious long game. And besides,
But isn't that what this is all about now?
J.K. Rowling has shared her plot. Yeah, I don't think writing 7 novels would be worth her time. Or not her time. I mean, obviously it's worth her time, but not worth
Marketer's time?
advertising exec's time. I mean, I just don't think so. And she shared her plot,
Process.
her her plot process and her mapping. She shared her rejection letters, and she published. And actually, I had a conversation about this. Authors who jump genres often publish under nom de plumes because they basically have to reinvent their engagement with their audience, and the audience for Galbraith books is very different than the audience for Harry Potter books.
Okay.
So,
See, Matt says money talks.
I still don't think so. That is.
So what you're telling me is it's
Inconceivable.
Yes, I am saying it's inconceivable. The long game that they would have to invest. Now, it would pay off, but you've got to think. Harry Potter, the first book dropped when we were in
high school.
early high school. And then the movies didn't come out till 10 years after that.
Right.
And then
But look how much money they made.
yeah, I don't know though. Advertising executives do not play the long game. They want sales now.
Okay. Well, our own Matt Wade says, getting back to the other one, Disney is not cryogenically frozen. He's in Forest Lawn, wherever that is. I'm gonna pretend like I know where that is.
Oh, that's like the famous person cemetery. Where
Andy Kaufman's buried in Elvis. Yeah, sure.
No, I
I'm with you.
think Hef is going to be buried there. Isn't Forest Lawn
Gotcha.
where Marilyn Monroe is buried? He's been buried next to
I'm
Marilyn
assuming so. A bunch of famous people.
Monroe. Alex says that Harry Potter is too anti-establishment to be written by capitalists. No, that makes sense. I mean,
Does it though?
Yes, the plot of the 6th and 7th books were all about taking down the.
I don't disagree with that,
Ministry
but
of
you don't think capitalists wouldn't write that for us to like get our hopes and ideal? We're getting way too much into reality brief now at this point.
Well, we are talking about conspiracy theories.
Yeah. But you don't think capitalists wouldn't be able to write the books to kind of like inspire us with false hope and stuff?
No. Listen, if they were going to do that, they do. Now we are getting. Okay. If they were really going to. No, see, they didn't. You don't come out of reading Harry Potter with any faith in the Ministry of Magic. You don't hate it really when the
but
book-
they build up that false hope in the sense that you can take down the big thing when you really can't. Kind of. That's the point I'm going with.
Yeah, but it's a British book. Like I almost feel like that would make sense for an American book, but they say that England controlled everything for.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense. And Matt says it doesn't make sense for addicts. I mean, that is a long, long game.
Jessica.
I think Jessica's just messing with me at this point.
He's basically bald Hitler with no nose and no mustache. That reminds me, I should get some producer drops.
Yes,
Um,
it is. Yes, Voldemort is basically bald Hitler with no nose or mustache.
That might be the quote of the night.
But J.K. Rowling is real. I think the person.
Well, yeah, she obviously real. She exists. There's people.
Yeah, half of them have retired. Their golden parachutes hadn't even inflated yet. Yeah, no, I reject.
Okay.
I'm calling.
Okay, so the J.K. Rowling thing.
I'm calling baloney on J.K. Rowling being fake.
Calling it.
Inconceivable is what I'm calling it. Jessica
All right.
swears she's not messing with me, but I don't know.
Okay,
She's a
so-
friend of that Henry guy. He likes to mess with me.
Yeah. So back to the important one. Disney. Cryogenically frozen. Still hates Jews.
Okay, no.
Inappropriate.
Thank you. My question is, if he is cryogenically frozen, which is not a thing, you can freeze things, but they only come back if they're like single cell organisms or whatever, like frogs.
We're not rich. We don't know what these people have access to.
I don't know. It's not. We're not in Futurama. You can't just have disembodied heads floating around. I mean, all right.
That we know of.
Okay, so the way to debunk a conspiracy theory, and I needed to know this when I worked at the Weather Channel because it was very, very relevant, is does it apply to rich people? So, okay. And
Disney was rich.
That doesn't work here because like when someone says that like pop culture or not pop culture, chemtrails are killing Americans, they're gassing us or whatever. The question there is does it apply to rich people? Do rich people breathe the air supposedly polluted by chemtrails? And if the answer is yes, then it's not a thing. Because obviously, if it was a conspiracy theory, people would buy their way out of it. Like, is there a secret cure for cancer? No, because Steve Jobs died of cancer. And if anybody would have bought a cancer treatment, a cure, it would have been him. So So yeah, I kind of talked myself out of cryogenically freezing being impossible. But
I was gonna say, I feel like we could still do
know.
this. I feel like you're helping my argument out here.
He died in 1966.
Yep.
So many really important people who are worthy of being frozen until a cure was found have died since then. Wouldn't we have?
Have they?
Well, wouldn't we have thought out somebody? I mean, I don't know. Haven't we cured something?
Maybe they know how to freeze people. They just don't know how to unthaw them yet.
No. Oh, yeah, that's a really good point. Jobs did reject science. Yeah, still would have died. Ezra was a little too happy about that. Okay,
So he's not an Apple guy. All
say
right.
Disney is cryogenically frozen, and whatever it was that he had, we can cure now.
Okay.
What happens?
Hopefully they have the science to unfreeze him.
Okay, well, yes.
the thing.
All right. No, I understand that we unfreeze. Okay, so we unfreeze him, we thaw him out, and we have the science for it. And then what? He goes in back
Dies
to
of
Disney.
old age.
No. Disney didn't have time to be frozen. He found out he was dying in October and went in December.
A cold month, you say?
Oh my God, Keith. Okay, but what happens when we unfreeze Disney? Does he just go get his desk back?
I don't know. What's the statute of limitations on owning a company?
I mean, do you think there's secret legal loopholes in Disney paperwork that sort of allow him to take back over?
Could be. I heard they hit him in Space Mountain.
Yeah. We're getting some comments here. That's why we're getting distracted.
All right. So Alex says there isn't a secret cure for cancer, but Big Pharma would prefer a cure never be found. Well, yes, of course. Matt says Disney. Okay, he famously hit it.
Vanessa says there's not a way to freeze and unfreeze people. Yeah, you can do it with like frogs and stuff, or fish. I think fish can be frozen and then will later be back to life. But yeah, human beings, if they're frozen, they die.
I don't know. I heard the one of the deleted scenes from the Carousel of Progress was a cryogenically frozen Disney. They were just cryogenically freezing people.
You know,
as part of
they're not really scenes. They're animatronic robots.
yeah, and the Carousel of Progress turns, and they had one about cryogenesis.
Do you
and they didn't
think
include it?
that
They were like, nope, we need to hold off on this one.
Do
Can't
you
let the
think
secret
that
out.
the guy in the Carousel of Progress is actually like Weekend at Bernie's Walt Disney?
No, that's an animatronic. Don't be silly.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, so Matt doesn't think that Disney will take over. Although Ezra says he'll come back and take control of Mary Poppins too, which is probably a good thought.
Jessica thinks he's under the tunnels of Disneyland.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do
Lot of-
have those secret tunnels.
A lot of room to put cryogenesis tubes
Every
in there.
time they do a Disney employee AMA on Reddit, I'm like totally fascinated by it to hear
Yeah.
all this.
How they get around all underneath.
Yeah, the crazy stuff that goes on behind the parks. Well, this has been a weird conversation of pop culture conspiracy theories. There are a lot more than I thought of, and I also am still spending brain energy thinking about Katy Perry and John Benet Ramsey. So, just
You want to do some quick fire ones real quick?
yeah, let's
do-
run through some of these to
let's
put
see,
in
man.
your brain noodles.
Yeah, let's see here. So you guys have some homework to do.
That's right.
So Stanley Kubrick faking the moon landing. The moon landing is always a popular, didn't really happen thing.
Yep.
Paul McCartney's dead, we mentioned. Avril Lavigne. See, some of these murder ones are like, well, I'm not reading that one. A lot of these musicians are
Oh, okay.
agents
so
of these.
The Simpsons predicted 9/11. I saw that too. Now, they also predicted Donald Trump being president, like a lot of stuff. They've been on the
true.
air forever.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Eventually, you're bound to, hit a few things.
Right.
Hiddle Swift was fake. Someone else is singing on Britney Spears stuff.
Beyonce kidnapped Sia.
I don't.
I
Are those real words? I don't know what these words mean.
Just keep going.
Okay.
Oh, I've heard that Gucci Mane was replaced by a government clone.
Oh, Jessica did a research paper on the moon landing.
So
did you
it's Kubrick, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
totally
probably-
Kubrick.
It's obviously Kubrick. And then, if you ever want to
Wow. Did you see Elena's?
what'd you say?
Matt's not going to like that one. Pretty sure Disney and Hitler are hanging out together somewhere in Brazil. You know what, Vanessa? That gets you one of these.
Inappropriate.
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 But, you know.
Also possibly true.
Possible true.
Gucci Mane replaced by government clone. Life
Okay.
model decoy is what we're thinking there.
All right. All right.
Wait, what was that one? Nicki Minaj rap. There's a lot of conspiracy theories around musicians. More so
Yeah.
than actors for some reason. You think it's the personality type and just kind of what they, what they kind of breed?
I don't know.
This one is probably most very possible. Kim Kardashian faked the Paris robbery.
That was I mean, I hate that happened to her, but yeah, I don't
Very
know.
suspicious.
I feel like Kanye's going to come punch me
Yeah.
for saying that.
What about Kanye being a clone himself?
Yeah, I think there's like 4 of them.
What are the ones haven't we mentioned, guys?
Okay, we have not mentioned. I mean, some of these are getting really weird. What are
So
you?
I'm just liking the Elena was pushing Matt's buttons. She knew what she was doing.
You guys
the
are
Disney
terrible.
and Hitler thing.
You guys are terrible.
And Ezra's just joining in. Now, Jessica said there were crosshairs and equipment all over the pictures and the footage she saw.
Mm-hmm.
Eminem likes his mom's spaghetti. Another big conspiracy theory.
What? No.
That's what the rumors are.
It was vomit on his sweater, Jessica. That's ridiculous.
It's Keanu Reeves is immortal. Stevie Wonder really isn't blind. Do we think he's blind?
Well, I mean, if he's not blind, who cares?
Still a good musician.
Yeah, does it have anything to do with, I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
I don't know. Does it matter? I don't think it matters.
Oh, this is a fancy one. Taylor Swift is a clone of a satanic priestess.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. Why not?
I don't know if she's a clone or actually a satanic priestess. I don't know. That new song, though, she's dead to me. Look What You Made Me Do, Taylor Swift.
Yes. Kris Jenner and the Kardashians selling the sex tape. Yeah, there's just a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, we have some crazy.
A lot of musician stuff, though.
Well, that's how it works.
Andrew WK has been played by different actors, apparently. Lord's lying about her age.
Andrew WK drummed for 24 hours one time.
That was awesome.
I know. I watched
I jumped in for a few hours of that.
Yeah, let's see. Justin Bieber's the lizard person. We already confirmed that. Thanks, Ezra.
Kanye won't punch you, but he'll take your pick microphone away.
Is everyone... Oh, here's my favorite that I posted. Is everyone in Hollywood some sort of squash? Like a vegetable. And then, of course, we made up the...
I feel like they're lizards or Illuminati. One of the two there.
Lizards, Illuminati, squashentologists. That's what we called them.
Squashentologist.
But that'll probably get us sued. So
Elena said that Swift song is her best track ever.
Ugh.
Likely written by her bestie Lorde,
no,
who's really old and lying about her age.
No, I don't know about Lorde lying about her age, but no, that was not her best track. I vehemently disagree. I like old school Swiftie.
Matthew's chiming in though. He's battling back. New song is proof of her true form. The song is the descent into her true form.
Yes, I agree. She is becoming.
Well, I read something because Miley Cyrus is going country, Taylor Swift is going pop, or did I read that backwards?
Yeah. No.
Okay, that's
so they're switching.
Yeah, they're switching places essentially.
Well, Miley Cyrus though I think is a better country. I mean, I've heard her do some country covers that were really good.
Yeah.
Okay, we can't keep going down this rabbit hole. We'll never get out. And yes, Elena, I do happen to like some of Swiftie's stuff. Actually, all of 1989 is pretty good.
Miley was raised country.
She
so
was
that-
right. Wow,
that
yeah.
helps.
Her with her little achy breaky heart. All right, we have got to get out of here. Otherwise,
we
we
haven't
will.
done pop champagne.
Well, that's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
What is making you happy? Why are we celebrating?
This little box right here.
Oh my gosh,
Watch this
he's
out.
got a new toy. He's got no stop.
Question. Good day, sir.
Oh my gosh.
It's gonna be so much fun, Matt. This was the worst worst idea you've ever had. Yeah, best worst idea you've ever had, Matt. So, yeah,
The squash thing is true, he says.
that's what he says, but we'll see.
Okay, why am I
What-
happy this week? I am going to be traveling for the next couple weeks.
That's right, you're gone, so you won't get to be on the show. And
I
that's why she's
know.
happy. That's what she's getting to.
No,
here.
that's
People,
not
you
what
see
I'm
she's
getting
doing
at.
this?
But next week I will be in the lovely city of Chicago, and I love Chicago, and that really makes me happy. And I will be sad to be not on the show, but you guys will hold it down without me.
We'll do our best.
And I'm going to go to the Nutella restaurant. I've been there twice. I've been to Chicago twice this summer, and I have not been to the Nutella restaurant. And this time, I'm going to go to the Nutella restaurant. It's just going to happen. This is part of my future. Yeah, leveling up. It's part of my, it's how it's going to happen. So I am looking forward to that.
Do you know what's going to happen next week?
Dogs and cats living together.
Oh,
hysteria.
Mass hysteria. So,
Boys are taking over.
tune in next week. It'll be lewd, crude, and socially unacceptable. I will probably be logged on.
Inappropriate.
And very inappropriate. I will be logged on to the show and commenting with you like I like to do.
Yes.
Please give us a follow on Twitter at Pop Show.
Here is our
Oh,
social. We have social cards.
we do
now.
have
Look at
social
that.
cards now. Give us a follow on Twitter at Pop
And
Show.
coming.
Oh, I've got a cat on my lap now. On Facebook, we are facebook.com/Pop Show. If you're listening from YouTube, or if you're listening on Facebook, give us a little rating. Give us some stars. It'll make us look good.
Yes.
Shoot
on over there to the YouTube and subscribes.
Yes.
Because we do more videos than just our weekly stuff.
We do.
Our con visits. Matt does a lot of great video. We have a good time, and we cut the stuff and we put it up on our YouTube page for easy viewings.
Right.
So,
And then also, I posted earlier Henry's awesome review, but
on our webpage.
Go to popshow.com. All right, Kat. I talked about how much I love This Is Us, which picked a fight.
Yep, did.
But I loved it. And we want to hear what you guys think. So definitely leave us some comments.
For sure. And actually, in case, you guys are listening on Facebook Live right now, Elena, Matthew, Jessica, Matt Wade, you don't count, Alex, we're going to be in podcast form. In fact, we are in podcast form.
What?
We're on Podbean. That's where we
Podbean.
are. So you can download the Podbean app for your iPhone or your Android. And if you don't want to download another app and you just want to go through iTunes for those Apple folks, that should be up this weekend. Right now, we've got some of our August episodes up. I'm going to try to cut them a lot sooner. And see, Jessica agrees with you. She enjoyed This Is Us. So make sure, yes, subscribe over on Podbean. Subscribe over at YouTube. I just put the link in there in the comment section here. Because until we can get, 100? Is the fancy YouTube number?
There's some fancy YouTube number.
We have got until we get to 100 subscribers, that's when we can get our fancy youtube.com/channel/pop show. But until then, it is youtube.com/channel/ Yeah, exactly. So check us out there. Give us a subscribe on Podbean and or iTunes, whatever you feel like doing. We will be all over the place, as Sarah said. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Pop Show, Twitter @PopShow. Mine is @VAPianist. Sarah's is @Sarah Janet Hill. Matt is @HaveIssues. What's issues? No, his is just @HaveIssues. And Matt, as far as Busch Gardens or King's Dominion, I don't think we had plans for that, but there were talks of doing more locally based stuff in the 757.
Yeah, we
figure
figure those big guys don't need any help with insider looks.
They're pretty set. Now, to be fair, if Busch Gardens or King's Dominion wanted the Pop Show crew to come out there and do a review or do a video, and they wanted to sponsor it, we'd be okay with that.
That is, if they want to.
We are not above sponsorships.
Not at all. Give us money. All right, guys, that'll do it for this week.
I think I can. Here we go. Let's do this. Oh,
there it goes. All right. Well, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. We will see you next week.
Yes. See you all next Tuesday. Later.